All right. One love Baez in the third. All right, welcome everybody. We got Djokovic coming on. He's late. It's what, like 7 o'clock? What is it, 7 o'clock? Holy shit. So yeah, we've got 4 hours until the curfew. So we got Djokovic and then Gauff. I mean, Gauff might have to play on this court. I think the Gauff might have to get moved to this court because Draper's flying. So if Draper gets done in the next hour, Gauff's going to get moved. If Wimbledon don't do that, they're going to just ruin Gauff. By the way, Rinderknech has to play tomorrow after beating Zverev in a long 5-setter. That's what's been happening. Vika not having a good time either. Okay, we'll keep an eye on her. Jesus, The Rock is waiting for a ride. Some of the girls have got flying wings. They stack somewhere. What? Huh? What are you singing a song or are you just hallucinating? What the hell? 30 love? That was confusing as hell. Chad, is that a lyric or something? What did I miss? 30 love. Anyone else know what that was about? I thought you were talking about The Rock, like Dwayne Johnson. I thought he was at the tennis. I'm like, wait, I didn't see him in the royal box. Back end of the net from Draper, 40 love. Oh, it's AI. Oh, was that AI? Okay. That was an AI thing. It's confusing as hell. Dimitrov wins. Nice. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Draper. 40-15. He serves a fault. Second serve. As the return goes forward to Draper. Back in now from Baez goes long, and it's 1-1. Draper holds. Sounded like a lyric? Yeah, it sounded like something. Or a spell or something, I don't know. A curse? By the way, chat, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, is that a good show? Should I start watching it? Is that a show that I should watch? It sounded like someone that has been smoking. Okay. Well, I don't know about that. No, we're not going to watch Rebecca now. It's okay. Yes. Amazing. Yes. Yes. Buffy is good. Yes. Okay. I'll add it to the list. Return winner Draper. Love 15. It was meh for me. Okay. Dutchie says no. Won the 4 of the best. Okay. Charmed was good. I'm sure Cam's job would be impossible if he was a smoker. Yeah, that would make things really interesting. Yeah. Now, all of that is illegal in Australia. I'll tell you what, though, you can get drunk off your face if you wanted to. But you can't smell, or you can't smoke the medicine. The medicine. The Love 30. Boy, you can't do it, chap. You can drink until your liver falls out of your ass, but you just can't. Don't you dare do the other thing. The devil's lettuce, you get that out of here. Get that out of here. All right. Love 40. Draper to break. What are the chances of Muller today? 3. All right. Draper breaks. Draper breaks. Did you buy Buffy as a thrift purchase? No. I was just wondering. I was watching YouTube and I was watching YouTube videos about 90s stuff, and it came up with Buffy, and I was like, oh, I haven't watched that before. I haven't watched it. It looks great though. There's a lot of shows in the 90s that I was way too young to watch, so there's a lot of things I missed. So I'm going back and watching those things because I think 90s... I watched a lot of 2000 stuff, but I didn't watch any 90s things because Buffy was for adults, and I was not an adult in the 90s. Friends? I don't want to watch Friends. Baez retires. Baez calls it. He's not going to risk that knee anymore. Draper wins. That's a shame. That's a shame. Baez, he slipped and he hurt his knee, but he decided that it's not worth the risk. And I respect that. He's a little bit emotional about it as well. Draper's giving him a round of applause. It sucks. But Baez... Yeah. I mean, he made the right choice for his season. Not worth risking it if he's still sore. It's not worth risk. Not worth the risk. But a shame. That was a shame. Yeah, Baez slipped and twisted his knee in the first set. And yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Not worth the risk. All right, chat, which actually works out well, unfortunately, but does. Jump on over if you want to keep watching this Djokovic match. We're just about to start. Djokovic Muller. By the way, no one's in the royal box. Okay, rude. What the hell? Where's David Beckham today? This is bullshit. David Beckham's like not a Djokovic fan. He's just a fan of Alcaraz. He's only there every second day. He's having the day off today. There must be dinner time or something. That's why no one's there. Anyways, Djokovic Muller, come on over and watch. Draper wins. He's into the second round. All right. I think they put Gauff on court 2, by the way. If they don't put Gauff on that court now, that's crazy. They got 4 hours for Gauff's match. They got to put Gauff's match over there. Djokovic's match will go 2 hours, maybe 3. They got to move Gauff's match. Anyways, return goes in the forehand of Muller. Muller in the net. First point goes to Nole. What about Zverev? Did he win? No, he lost. So we still got plenty of matches going on. Shelton's up 2 sets to love. Monfils is up. He's 1-all in 1 set all. Canada and Townsend are into a tiebreak. Raducanu is up 3 love. Tennis TV is so bad. Why? Tennis TV is great. What are you talking about? Tennis TV is the best thing we've got. Are you serious? 15-all. Tennis TV is amazing. All right, 15:30. Chance for Djokovic to break straight away. Tennis TV is actually as good. Yeah. It's not showing matches. Yeah, because they don't have the rights to show the slams. But it's not their fault. It's a great service. What are you talking about? It would be better if they could show slams, but it's not their fault. It's not their fault. 4-4 rally. 15:30 is a backhand from Djokovic. The slice of Muller. Backhand of Djokovic again. The backhand of Muller. As Djokovic backhand again to the Muller backhand. And Muller in the net. 15:40. Too bad Draper's out in the second round. Draper fans, can you attack each other? No, I'm just kidding. Draper fans, can you stand up for your guy against this guy? I mean, you stand up against for Draper against me. Why are you not treating each other the same? 15:40. Is it a slice from Djokovic? It goes long. 30-40. They're a dedicated tennis channel, which we don't have. Yeah, I mean it's the best thing it's the best thing we got. Tennis TV is the best thing we got, and hopefully one day Tennis TV will be an all-in-one tennis place. But again, they got to get the rights. You know, the rights are expensive, and the rights are not. The rights are not free. All right, that goes out by Djokovic on the return, and we get the deuce. First game of the match. Deuce. As that goes out, double fault Muller. All right, advantage to Djokovic. The return goes in the forehand of Muller. Djokovic forehand wide, and it's deuce. All right, good return to the backhand of Muller. Slice from Djokovic into the forehand of Muller, but Djokovic hit it out. Advantage Muller. How many subscriptions one has to have? One TV should show all different slams, tours, etc. Yeah, I think it depends on what country you're in. As we get a return out of the forehand of Muller, backhand from Djokovic into the forehand of Muller. And Djokovic forehand into the forehand of Muller on the stretch. Muller hits it out. We're back to deuce. We're back in the fourth love already. Coco's on court one. Chat, call me Wimbledon because I know the schedule. Tennis talk with Cam Wimbledon. Come on now. Come on now. Did I not call that, chat? I would appreciate it if I got a trophy or a medal. Maybe a check. No? Okay. Advantage Muller. Wimbledon making good decisions. We love that. Thank you, Wimbledon, for making a good decision. Now, we're not going to watch Coco, but we are going to watch Djokovic. Advantage Muller. Actually, you know what? Sick of doing double headers. Muller holds one love. I am sick of... Yeah, no curfew today. Unless Djokovic plays 5 hours. Yeah, no curfew today. Fuck. Do we watch Coco? We should. Chat, we should watch Coco Gauff because she could lose. And that would be shocking. But not surprising. Come on, you need a double header to keep you awake? I really don't. I need to not stream to keep me alive. A double header I feel like would just... But we got to watch Coco. Because again, that match is a scary matchup. All right, chat. We'll watch it. We'll watch her. We'll watch her. I want to watch Coco anyway. Your strengths to Coco could. I mean, it could be boring. And Coco could win easily too, so. I don't think it's going to be mid. And we've got Djokovic as well, so we can do a double header. Actually, probably works out better this way. Because Djokovic's match could be very, very simple, and Coco's match could be very, very epic. Or vice versa. Maybe that happens. Who is Coco playing? Yeah, Diana Yastremska, who is could be a very scary player. Has been very scary in the past. Yeah. Coco's not starting until 7:30 p.m. Okay, so we've got about 15 minutes. 30, love. Will you cover Coco's match? Oh my god, these are the days of Grand Slam you have to feel for Cam. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. But I appreciate it. It's only day 2, but we'll be fine. Like I said, I'm hoping the next couple of days are kind of boring, so that way we don't have. There will be less to watch. But I was going to watch Gauff after this match, so it's probably better that we're actually going to finish earlier today. I think. 40:15. All right, Djokovic holds, and it is 1-1. All right, welcome everybody. Double header again. It's the slams. This is what we do. So we got Gauff coming up. She's moved courts. She was supposed to be on center court, but she's playing on court 1 because Draper's match finished and Djokovic just started. So they want to try and get back before or get it done before the curfew. They don't want to have it 2 days in a row, so they've moved it, which is smart. But it just means that we have to watch these matches at the same time. But that's okay. We will. Love 15. As Muller serves a fault. Second serve. Good. Bad serve by Muller. Double fault. And it's love 30. Good idea, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. Especially after yesterday. After yesterday's match, for sure. Love 30. Djokovic backhand into the forehand of Muller. Forehand from Djokovic. Again, the forehand of Muller. As Djokovic forehand down the line is wide. 15-30. How you see the performance of Norway? Do you think he will win the Wimbledon title? Oh, man. Don't ask me that. We can't base Djokovic's chances at Wimbledon by beating his first round opponent. All right, 15-30. As we got a forehand into the backhand of Muller. Djokovic to the forehand of Muller. Muller in the net. May I, and I don't want to remind Djokovic of the bad times, but I will remind you of this. Remember how at the Australian Open last year, he got to the quarterfinal, he got to like the semis without breaking a sweat. And then he played Sinner, and then he lost. So It's as Djokovic breaks. So I don't think we can, there's no point in, trying to analyze whether or not Djokovic's going to win Wimbledon based on this match, because even if he wins this in straights, he's supposed to win this in straights. I'll tell you the match that we can make a decision, or we can, actually analyze a little better. The match against maybe Mahatch in the fourth round or De Minaur. If he wins those matches easily, that's when, to be honest, the real one is Draper. When he plays Draper in the quarters, if he plays Draper in the quarters, that's the match that we will know whether or not he can win Wimbledon based on that result. It's too hard in 3 games in the first round to say, yeah, he's going to win Wimbledon. It's like, well, a lot of things have to happen as well. Maybe Sinner has to lose. Maybe Alcaraz has to lose. There's a lot of things that maybe Djokovic can't play at 39 or 38, right? He can't win slams if Sinner and Alcaraz are in the way anymore. Maybe he has to avoid them. So, yeah. I'll tell you, though, if one of those guys lose, especially if Sinner loses, which would be more beneficial for Djokovic because it's in the same half, that would change things. But I think right now, there can't be... Sinner's still alive. Alcaraz won. And, can he win 25? He definitely can. But it's not like it's not like 3 years ago when he was the favorite and everybody else had to figure out how to beat him. Now it's like he's got to figure out how to beat at least 2 different guys. Many commentators are saying that Novak's best chance of a 25th slam is this Wimbledon, but that does not mean he will win it. Some think so, but probably for just his best chance, Novak can't get injured. Yeah, that's totally fair. I think Djokovic admitted himself that his best chance of winning another slam is Wimbledon. Maybe Australia, but Sinner's got that on lock lately. I agree. I think everybody agrees that his best chance... But by the way, I feel like a lot of people said his best chance was the French, a month ago. So I don't know why people are changing their tune. I don't know who didn't chat. I'm pretty sure. Let me know if you were here for this. Maybe it was last year. No, it would have been this year. No, maybe it was last year. Either way, I think a lot of I remember hearing a lot of you in the chat saying that Djokovic's best chance of winning a slam was the French Open. He did do well at Roland Garros, but he wasn't going to win it. He made the semis, which was better than I think people expected. People thought Zverev was going to beat him. But I think this is his best chance. Maybe not this Wimbledon, but at Wimbledon. If he plays 3 more, I think at Wimbledon is his best chance for sure. Just like at Wimbledon was Federer's best chance at the same age, Older guys with the faster court, the grass courts, which is a little less. But I feel like grass court, especially what we're seeing so far, grass court experience is so important. If you have grass court experience or grass court, I feel like that is such a big deal. Which Djokovic has 20 years of grass court experience. So that's why, and Federer obviously had grass court experience and he was, made the finals and stuff. Why not this one? Why not this Wimbledon? Like I said, Djokovic's chances improve if Sinner gets out the way. And Alcaraz in the final, right? But I think they're the guys that are most likely going to stop him. And we don't even know what Draper can do. Like Draper versus Djokovic quarterfinal, is that a tough match? I don't know. We don't know if Draper's on that same level of scary yet for Djokovic, right? But we know Sinner and Alcaraz are. Sinner and Alcaraz can beat Djokovic. So I feel like if one of those guys fall, it significantly improves Djokovic's chances. 15 love. There's been a 4-4 rally. Djokovic 3-1 up in the first set. We're just waiting for Coco to come out on court. Coco is going to be playing under the roof, which is the night match. Muller in the net, 15-all. Shelton wins, cool. We love that for Shelton. All right. Nice serving Muller, 30-15. Sorry, my bad. He missed it. I thought he hit it away. I looked down for 2 seconds to see what Coco was doing. The volley went in the net. 15-30. I thought he made it. I looked up and he was walking away like he won. Why is it that Djokovic is better than Alcaraz, better than Sinner, better than Djokovic? Interesting pattern. Djokovic beats Alcaraz quite often, but has been losing to Sinner regularly. Sinner loses to Alcaraz a lot. Yeah, I don't think it's that simple. That's way too simplified. That's not, like, what are you basing that off? Muller hits a drop shot, winner 30-all. Like, if you're basing that off 2025, I guess, but that Djokovic beat Alcaraz this year and at the Olympics. So, okay, if that's what you're basing it off, I get it. But I don't think it's that simple. Because Djokovic doesn't beat Alcaraz on grass. Right? Also, Alcaraz hasn't beaten Sinner on grass. So, just saying that too. Djokovic cooked Alcaraz at the AO. Still not over that. I feel like Alcaraz cooked himself a little bit. All right, 40-30. There's a forehand now on the stretch from Muller to the back of Djokovic. Djokovic is the winner. And it's deuce. All right. Yeah, Coco was supposed to play on center court. Now, I gotta fill my tea. My dying over here. Did you take over? All right, advantage Muller. Djokovic backhand lob. It's too good. Back to deuce. Monfils and Bear is quite good, I can imagine. All right, Djokovic to get the double break. Advantage Nole. Sheldon isn't winning a 250 or a 500. Never mind this. AO. Lol. Anyways, Djokovic double break. 4-1. What are you talking about? Sheldon has won a 250 And he's won the 500. What are you talking about? What do you have against Shelton? We are pro Shelton on this channel. We will not take that. All right, 4-1. Djokovic double break. All right, so they shut the roof on court number 1 for Coco Gauff. And Bears up 2-1 against Monfils, by the way. Bencic just won. Kenin is winning. It's all happening. All right. Can Coco avoid carnage? That is the question. Djokovic 4-1. At 38 years old, he is still one of the prime contenders of Wimbledon. That's cool in itself. By the way, Chad, I just want to remind you that Roger Federer was also old and a contender. And it's impressive as well. It's impressive for Djokovic, but it's also like, well, Federer just did that too. So we need to mention both. We need to mention both. We can't be like, oh, well, Djokovic is the only one to ever do it. Roger definitely was there too. Roger did it first. 38-year-old contender. I mean, Roger was, 39 when he played Djokovic in the final of Wimbledon 2019, nearly got the win? So Djokovic is rewriting Roger's achievement. Like, Roger got to 100 first, but Djokovic then did it. So, again, chat, we should be watching Nole. This is Roger 2019, is where Djokovic is right now. Roger 2019, 2020, that's what we're watching here in Nole. He's in that part of his career, which is a very unheard of part. It's an uncharted part because not many players play. In fact, I don't think anyone who was before Roger at that age doing those things. Like, not many players are charting this territory. Maybe Connors back in the 90s. Maybe Connors. And then before that, probably Rosewell. Not many players, and I know Serena recently, but on the men's side, not many players have walked this path. Djokovic is probably maybe the 5th guy in the Open era to be top 10, still a contender at slams at the late 30s. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. So we should appreciate that, but we should also remember who else has done it because it's not the first player ever to do it. He could be the oldest player to win, though. That's a possibility. He could be the oldest player to win a Grand Slam, which would be awesome. All right, 15-0. Djokovic 5-1 as Muller backhand into the slice of Djokovic. George Foreman at 45. Yeah, brother. What are you talking about? All right, Muller, 30-15. What is my honest opinion on Zverev's future? He didn't win Wimbledon. To be honest, I'm not going to judge Zverev's career based on a Wimbledon first round loss. I'm not not worried about Zverev. I think Zverev is fine. Him winning Wimbledon would have been the bigger shock than him losing early to me. So I don't think this loss today affects Zverev and his future. Now, if he loses first round of Roland Garros, that's huge. He loses first round of the Australian Open or US, that's big. But he has lost here in the first round before. I think he lost the first round in 2019 when we first watched Wimbledon for the first time on the channel. I'm not bothered by okay, it's not a great result, but I'm not that bothered by Zverev's future on a Wimbledon first round loss. It's his worst slam. He has a terrible record here. He's never made it past the fourth round. He's lost multiple times in the second and first rounds and third round. Like I said, 2019, he lost in the first round. I think it was to an Italian player. No. He lost first round to Vesely. Oh, okay. Well, that's he's a god, so. He lost his Berrettini in 23. That's not bad. But yeah, again, he's not going to win Wimbledon, Zverev. That's not. It's when he loses a slam that he's supposed to be a contender at. They're the ones that. That's when I'm going to be really surprised. Djokovic gets lucky with the net cord, and it's advantage Nole to take the first set. So yeah, I'm not worried about Zverev yet. Okay. Djokovic. Set point. To take the first set. As Muller serves the fault, second serve. Second serve. As a return goes to the backhand of Muller. Forehand from Djokovic. Into the backhand of Muller. Again, the forehand of Djokovic. Muller backhand. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Muller forehand. Cross court goes long. Nole 6-1. His son loves it. His son's like, yeah, let's go. All right, Djokovic 6-1. I really thought Zverev and Medvedev would take over, but they've died out. That's because Alcaraz and Sinner took over and probably dampened their spirits. I think a lot of that generation, again, this is how I see it, right? Maybe you guys see it differently, but I see it like this, right? When Zverev and Medvedev and Tsitsipas and that generation came along in 2019 or 2018, 2017, Zverev was a little earlier. When those guys came along, who were the best guys on the world? Okay, the best guys in the world were older than them, much more experienced, obviously with like 30 plus. And I think that a lot of those guys walked into the tennis scene going, oh, okay, these guys are, over 30, they're dominating still. Okay, we'll get our chance when they've gone, right? We'll wait for them to retire. Then we will play. Then it's our turn. And I feel like they waited and waited and waited. And they had chances. They beat them in 3-set matches and they pushed them at slams sometimes. And then it kept going. And then they got to 2020, right? 2021. And these guys kept playing and they didn't retire. Djokovic kept going. Federer kept playing a little bit. Rafa was still there. And they never retired. And then by the time Rafa and Roger disappeared and Nole kept going, they're still waiting. But then by that time, Alcaraz and Sinner had come up and had overtaken them. So I feel like that I know it's called like the lost generation. It should be called the waiting generation because they're still waiting. They're still waiting for their opportunity. They're still waiting for their chance. Now they're going to wait for Sinner and Alcaraz to retire. You know what I mean? And look, yes, Dominic Thiem got a slam. Love that for him. Medvedev got a slam, right? But that whole generation, that 90s generation, I just feel like they were just waiting for the GOATs to retire, and they never did. And then while they were waiting, Alcaraz and Sinner were learning how to beat the GOATs. And then they overtook them and they skipped the line. And now they've got multiple slams each, and they're the guys. And the other guys, unfortunately, have been left in the dust. That's how I view it. You know, they were sitting around going, we'll get our turn, instead of trying to figure out how to beat them at that point in time. Now, of course, they were trying to learn how to beat them, but trying to beat them in 5 sets, right? Whereas Alcaraz and Sinner figured how to do that, you know, by being more aggressive, by playing a different style that was difficult for the GOATs, or at least for the two GOATs that were around. That's sort of that's how I see it. Whereas, you know, there's Zverev and Medvedevs and Tsitsipas's of the world, I feel like they were sort of sitting back and just going, all right, we'll play our kind of more defensive game that we've grown up playing. And then when Federer, Nadal, Djokovic retire, I just have to beat Medvedev, or I have to beat Zverev or Tsitsipas. I have to learn how to beat them. But then Alcaraz and Sinner came along. No one saw that coming. And that's their problem. Like, they're the problem now. You got to figure out how to beat Sinner and Alcaraz now. It's not about beating Djokovic anymore. You got to figure out how to beat them. So they probably all do feel a bit lost, because they probably expected maybe to have their turn. You know, it was their chance. But Sinner and Alcaraz came along and kind of, like I said, overtook them and took their spot in the line. They skipped the queue, you know? You saying this makes them sound pathetic? I'm cracking up. No, I'm not saying they're pathetic. I'm just saying that felt to me what was happening. And now you hear from what they say you hear what they say in the press conference, right? And you hear them saying like you know, they're disappointed and they look so dejected. And you go, well, yeah, if you were like playing tennis and you're growing up playing tennis, and then all of a sudden, like, even if you're just doing anything, and then you're like, okay, when that guy goes, it's my shot. I'm next. And then you're waiting patiently for them to stop, so then you can have your chance. And then someone just comes out of nowhere and takes and jumps in front of you and takes what you were waiting for. You know, that's what it. And I feel like also it's kind of. I mean, maybe we're in a different changing of styles. Yastrzemska holds. Maybe there's a bigger thing going on, right? That tennis is changing the way that it's being played. Kind of like the early 2000s, right? The early 2000s went for serve volley tennis to baseline. We might be watching the generation of defense turn into offense, right? We've got a lot of guys that are playing way more aggressive, you know, whereas back 10 years ago, it was all about 40-shot rallies. Who can rally longer? Who can outlast, and like who's physically better? Whereas now you look at Alcaraz and Sinner, and they're obviously physically, you know, going at it as well. But the way they play is so much more aggressive, and they're trying to shorten the points, and they're trying to win points, and they're not trying to rally until somebody makes an error. And I think that maybe there's very generation of player that has come through watching Nadal and Djokovic, right? Going, well, they're the best. We got to play like them. Maybe that. I mean, if you see Djokovic struggling against that generation who are playing aggressive, then what hope do the guys that learned how to be Djokovic, you know, how to play like Djokovic are going to be like? They're going to struggle even more, right? Because if the man they're trying to replicate struggling, then how the hell are they going to do it, right? So they might have just learned the wrong style, whereas Alcaraz and Sinner and those younger guys were probably learning how to play like Federer, who was proactive and a bit more aggressive and successful against the likes of the GOATs. Whereas, you know, maybe there's Zverev and Medvedevs who are trying to be more of, like I said, more of the defensive types like Nole, like Novak. You know, maybe that's wasn't the best strategy when they were growing up. But when you're growing up, I mean, Serena had the same thing. Look at all the players that play like Serena. And then Barty came along, right? Or then Swiatek came along and took over for a while. You know? The players that were growing up like Sabalenka, looking at Serena going, oh, we've got to play like Serena to be successful because she's the best. And you want to be the best, right? You want to play like the best. If they're doing it successfully, then that should be, that I need to do that too. Whereas now, you've got guys like Alcaraz and Sinner proving that you don't have to be defensive to win. You don't have to rally for 50 shots, right? You can, but you don't have to. Gauff's already in trouble, by the way. Anyways, we're rambling. 15:30. That's just how I see that whole generation. And the only way it's going to change is if they do start, if they try to learn, try to be more proactive, but it's like, it's not that easy. It's not easy as just, like the thing with it, so Andy talked about Zverev, and it was really interesting because Andy had a similar problem with the style changes back in the day. Because I remember watching Andy Roddick back in the early 2000s, and the biggest thing for Andy, he couldn't volley. Like the volleys at the net, he struggled. But if you were going to beat Federer in the early 2000s or the mid 2000s, if you were going to beat Federer, you either had to have a wicked spinny lefty forehand or you had to have an all-round game. You had to come to the net. And I remember Leighton having to be way more aggressive than he used to be because he used to rally, but Federer would just chop him up. And Andy also, he had a great serve, but Federer got it back. And when he got it back, Federer won the rally. So and if you go watch the Wimbledon final 09, Andy was way more aggressive. Backhands down the line. He came to the net a lot more, even though that wasn't where he wanted to be. And it really, I mean, look, if you look at the second set tiebreak, it undid him, right? I mean, that volley that he missed. But Andy had that same thing where he grew up playing like Pete, right? Pete Sampras as the big server, not really in the net, but at the baseline and being aggressive and playing a bit like Andre. And then Federer came along and changed the game. And then everyone had to learn how to play like Federer all of a sudden because he had everything. Alcaraz and Sinner are like that for the Zverev generation. You know, it's like, oh shit, now we've got to learn how to do net plays and drop shots and, and we didn't learn that. We were learning from someone else. We're watching the other people. So the players from that 90s generation, the ones that are going to do well, are the ones that are going to figure out the quickest how to be aggressive. Or at least how to be more aggressive to compete with Alcaraz, compete with Sinner. Because it's going to be awkward for them because they're not used to it. It's not their natural. All right, Djokovic trying to break in the second. Anyways, we talked so much about it. Hopefully everybody took notes. All right, 15, love you, Stremska. As we just serve to the backhand of Coco. Yastrzemska backhand wide. And it's 15 all. As Muller hits a lovely forehand winner, and it's advantage Muller. Too oversimplified. I hope that was a joke. Looking at the replay, missed volley. I still don't know how what Roddick was doing. I think Andy was in two minds. When you watch him hit that volley, I think he was going to let it go because he thought it was going out. But then the last minute, he goes, oh, I better hit it. And he kind of changed his mind halfway through the shot, I think. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like a guy who was coming to the net, but then was like, oh, no, maybe I should let it go. And then he's like, oh, no, wait, it's going to go in. I better hit it. I think that looked like a guy who changed his mind during the midpoint. If he committed to the volley, he would have probably hit a winner. But I think he went, I'm going to come in. No, it's going to go out. No, I'm going to hit it. And he just hit it out. That's what it seemed like. Because Federer, from what I remember, Federer hit like a high loopy shot. Like he kind of did a whipping loopy shot. And then Andy kind of went for a backhand volley, but it was like it was an awkward backhand volley anyway, in general. But anyways, 30-15. I have to rewatch it. I've watched that match a couple of times. That's one of my favorite ones to watch. It was a great fun match to watch. Watch it if you have time. All right, 40-15, Yastrzemska. $40-15. I mean, chat, it's so interesting how you can we can kind of pinpoint, and I would love to just do this. Maybe I will. As you stream in the app, 40-30. I feel like there are matches in the world that, especially Grand Slam finals, where there's a point that changed everything. And one of those points was in 2019 for Wimbledon, when Djokovic hit a passing shot winner at down championship point. And another one was that backhand volley that Roddick missed to go up for a chance to go up 2-sets to love. There are those points where we just remember that if that went differently, what would have happened? Federer serve and volleying, I think it was serve and volleying, right? Championship points number 2 against Djokovic in 2019. He just didn't get the serve in the right spot, and Djokovic hits a passing shot winner. He hits that serve a little more body, a little more out wide, or wherever he changes the direction a little bit, maybe he wins. That's so fascinating that we get that kind of. I'm sure there's a lot of those. I mean, we have to watch every Grand Slam final for the rest of time. There's probably other moments that have happened like that. But those key, we just remember those points, and I'm sure the players remember those points even more. Your Shrimps go. Oh, by the way, Coco's wearing a very nice outfit. It's a very designed Wimbledon design. She's got a bow. Coco's looking great. All right, Djokovic 40-15. Federer's approach. Was it an approach shot? Yeah, I got to rewatch it. Was it the approach shot wasn't great. It was a little too safe. And then Nole puts it away, and the rest is history. Raducanu is about to win, by the way. All right, 40-15. Raducanu is, yep. All right, 4 now from Djokovic on the volley. Goes wide, 40-30. All right, Coco to serve. Coco's dress and outfit, it's like she's going to a ball. I tell you, Shane, she could wear that if she wins Wimbledon, to the Wimbledon ball. It's very classy. It's a very classy outfit. Djokovic holds 2-1 in the second. It's meh for me. Dutchy, you're just not a fan. I'm stoked for tomorrow's Buzkova versus Sabalenka match. Yeah, that'd be fun. All right. Gauff 30 love. Love. Gauff goes to 40 love. By the way, I think they're closing the roof on the Djokovic match. I think they're closing the roof because it's getting dark. I'm surprised they didn't close the roof after the first set. It's weird they've waited this long. All right, full schedule out for tomorrow. So, center court's great. Osaka is playing Siniakova. All right, cool. All right, that's not a bad schedule. Pretty good schedule, to be honest. Pretty good schedule. Actually, pretty chilled tomorrow. There's not too many crazy things going on. A little bit surprised Palini's on court 3, but I guess, number 4 in the world, I guess, whatever, or number 5, whatever. But still, court 3, I thought she'd be at least court 1, but maybe not. Oh, doubles starts tomorrow too. Yeah, the doubles kicks off tomorrow. All right, Gauff holds 2-0. Sorry, love 15. 2-0. Cool. So yeah, it's not as busy tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a little bit less hectic, which is a nice change up from the last 48 hours. All right, love 15 is Gauff forehand into the forehand of Yastrzemska. Gauff into the net. 15-0. When Cam comments on the outfits, since I'm only able to listen. I like when Cam comments on the outfits because I'm only able to listen today. Yeah, Gauff's outfit looks fancy. It's probably the nicest outfit. Like definitely the most designed outfit of Wimbledon. Like it's got. I mean, did Osaka have a design? I don't know, but Gauff's outfit definitely feels. It's definitely got. It's definitely only her wearing it, but it definitely is a thought out design, which is nice. It's definitely a Wimbledon designed outfit. By the way, Yonex is not a bad outfit either from Yastrzemska. It's got the green. Adidas and Yonex are using the same colors. That green logo. I like the green logo on the white. It looks good. All right. 30-15 as that goes out by Gauff. And it's 40-15 Yastrzemska. Is Sinner playing tomorrow? Google shows it. No. I don't like Coco's dress. Okay. I think it's all right. What would I know? 40-15. As the return goes in the back of the Yastrzemska. Backhand from Gauff into the back of Yastrzemska, who hits a winner. 3-2 Yastrzemska to start this match. Muller, he's trying to do something crazy. He comes in there with a volley, but straight to Djokovic's backhand lob. Goes in. Muller with a backhand lob. Forehand lob over the shoulder. Goes in the net. Great lob by Nole. 40 love. Great rally. Great lob. 40 love. All right, 40 love. Nole to take a 3-2 lead in the fifth game. All right, nice serving. 3-2 Djokovic in the second. All right. 3-2. Sinner is not playing tomorrow, no. Has Novak said it's going to be his last time at Wimbledon? Definitely not. Djokovic can't beat Alcaraz, but he can beat Sinner. Okay, show me when. Like, what do you mean? When has Djokovic beaten Sinner? Djokovic can't beat Alcaraz, which is not true. He did it this year. He can beat Sinner, which is also not true because he hasn't done that for like at least 18 months. Do you mean the other way around? You mean the other way around, right? Djokovic can't beat Sinner, but he can beat Alcaraz. That makes sense. Okay, 3-2 Djokovic. Yastrzemska, by the way, love 30. Uh-oh. Yastrzemska trying to get the break. As Coco serves again. And as Yastrzemska gets a backhand of Gauff, and then backhand in the net from Yastrzemska, 15-30. Novak last beat Sinner in 2023 ATP Finals. Sinner gives Novak more problems. You know what I think it is? I think it's more that Alcaraz gives more chances. I don't think it's more I think Djokovic is the greatest player of all time. He can do everything, right? But I think Alcaraz is easier to beat for Djokovic because Alcaraz can be inconsistent. Whereas Sinner is like Djokovic. He doesn't give you anything. He's not going to give you errors. He's not going to give you free points. He's going to run you ragged. Whereas I feel like Djokovic does better against Alcaraz because Alcaraz does throw in errors. He does make mistakes. He does, play too aggressive. Sinner's so solid. That's probably why we haven't seen Sinner lose to Djokovic lately. Because the guys that beat Sinner are the guys that bash Sinner, right? Alcaraz, Rublev, Bublik. These guys are the ones that they bash through Sinner's defenses. A guy that rallies with Sinner is not going to beat Sinner. You got to attack Sinner to be a chance of beating Sinner, right? Just like to beat Djokovic, you got to attack him too. You got to try and be aggressive against him, like Alcaraz has done successfully in the past. But I think that Sinner, the guys that beat Sinner are the guys that are aggressive. Yastrzemska breaks 4-2. So Djokovic is going to have to play aggressive, which is not his game. He doesn't do that. Backhand down the lines, and he wants to rally. That's his game. Trying to be aggressive against Sinner it's probably his best chance of beating Sinner, but because unless Sinner gives him has a bad day and gives him some points, then yeah. This is wrong. You have to have variety to beat Sinner. Well, yeah, variety, aggression. Yeah, okay. Bublik has variety, I guess, but you have to be aggressive and you can't be predictable and just rally. We're saying the same thing with just different language. You can't be predictable. You can't be predictable and beat Sinner. No one. I can't remember the last time Sinner lost to somebody who was predictable. All right, 15 love here. Yastrzemska breaks Gauff. As Yastrzemska forehand to the backhand of Gauff. Backhand of Yastrzemska up in the net. 15-0. All right. Advantage Muller. As he tries to level, but he cannot do that. Back to deuce. Alcaraz let Nole get in his head as well. Yeah, at the Australian Open for sure. All right, deuce. As Djokovic returns out. Advantage Muller. As with a backhand winner from Yastremska. Chat, we knew she was capable of this Yastremska, 40-15. We know that this is what Yastremska can do. All right, Yastremska for a 5-2 lead. She serves a fault second serve. And she double faults, 40-30. All right, 40-30. Advantage Muller, by the way, as he tries to level in this second set. There's the backhand. Nope, there's a fault by Yastremska. Second serve. Second serve. Muller holds 3-0. As Yastremska keeps hitting backhands down the line. That's ridiculous. All right, Yastremska, 5-2. Do you think Sinner's PED violation taints his legacy? Nope. Nah. Not at all. I like the only people that are talking about that now are the people that don't like Sinner. I think 90% of the world has moved on. Like, it's over. Done. Yeah, Jay, you don't think so either. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I don't think it... the only people that are still talking about Sinner's, positive tests are the ones that don't like Sinner. But yeah, it wasn't PED, by the way. We got to make sure we get the right words right. It was bad. Yeah, he had a bad substance. It wasn't performing. It's enhancing. Well, positive test. Let's just call it that. That's covers everything. Positive tests. 90% of the world doesn't care. 95% of the tennis world has moved on. We're moved on, right? And the 5% of the world that are still talking about Sinner and being like, he should have been banned for life. He should have done this. He should have... That's always going to be there, but it's not going to taint his legacy. He's still a Hall of Famer. I mean, he did the time. I think a lot of people thought that 3 to 6 months was adequate, but for what happened, so yeah. Same thing happened to John Jones, and people hold that against him. Yeah, look, there's always going to be people holding it against him. But I think most of the tennis world don't even remember. Like, I don't think most of the tennis world, it doesn't get brought up in the chat as much as I would have expected, which is good. I hope it doesn't. Because we can focus on what matters, and that's the tennis, He did 3 months. It is okay. I said 3 to 6 months is adequate. I think lots of people thought that. Anyways. But yeah, I don't think it taints his legacy. I think it's... we've moved on. Tennis moves on very quickly. It's a very fast-moving sport. And 1 week after something happens, we forget because something else happens. Look at the French Open final, for example, right? A couple of days after the French Open final, everybody forgot because we're watching grass tennis, right? things move so quickly, right? You know, the other joint played an epic final, and 2 days later, we watched on Wimbledon. We forget about it. You know, Alcaraz plays Fanini, right? And we totally forgot about that epic final in the women's Eastbourne final, right? It happens. 2 years is adequate. Well, that's your opinion, but we're not judges, so neither of. I mean, if you go to school and learn how to be a judge, and you can judge the next time something like this happens. But like I thought, again, it depends on what you believe too, right? Do you believe the story? If you don't believe the story, you're going to have a different opinion on the matter. If you believe what was said, I feel like, some people think that he should have got 0 time off. Again, it just depends on what you believe, I guess. If you think he was cheating all along and he was doing all this bad stuff, then yeah, you probably want him to be banned for a long time. But an honest mistake, that wasn't his fault. His fault was hiring people that made a mistake. Then I think it was just. I think 3 months was fine. You know? Anyways, 15-all. But we talked about this to death 6 months ago, so. And again, it won't taint his legacy. His legacy is not tainted. All right. All right. 15-all. Muller is trying to stay level in the second. By the way, Yastremska 30 love. She's 2 points away from taking the first set. It's tainted, in your opinion. In your eyes, yes. But in the world's eyes, Sinner had a 3-month break that nobody will remember. And everyone will be like, oh yeah, remember when that happened? You will remember it till the day you die. Tennis world doesn't remember it. We won't, it doesn't matter. It won't be a big deal. It's not a big deal. No one's talking about it even now. Anyways, Djokovic, 1540. Again, if you remember it, that's different to if he will be remembered for it. Yastremska hits it out, 30-15. It's not tainted in your eyes? 100%, yeah. But also, I think most people in the chat, one in the chat if you think Sinner's legacy is fine, 2 in the chat if you think it's tainted. Because maybe I'm in the minority. I don't know. Deb's like, get over it. All right, 30-40. All right, pretty split. Interesting split. Oh, Leon meant 1. Yeah, 1 if you think if nothing changes. 2 if you think he's tainted. If it's tainted the legacy. I feel like it's pretty even. And as time goes on, I feel like less and less people will remember. It's still probably fresh, and that's fair enough, but again, it gets brought up. This is the first time it's been brought up since he's come back. And that was like 2 months ago. Anyways, backhand Muller. As Djokovic puts up a lob, Muller's going to hit a tweener, and it goes out. Advantage Djokovic. Advantage Djokovic. By the way, 40-30, Yastremska to take the first set. Serve goes down the tee as a fault. Second serve. Second serve, Yastremska. Serve into the corner. Gauff. Return. Nope, that's a let. Djokovic goes back to deuce, though. As Yastremska double faults. And Gauff gets the deuce. Not over yet. Advantage Muller. As Yastrzemski faults again, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Gauff. Good return. Yastrzemski on the stretch. Goes long. Advantage Gauff. To get back on serve. Lance is more than tainted. You know why? Because Lance Armstrong deliberately, actively, allegedly, I don't know if it's been proven, knowingly tried to cheat. There's a difference. There's a big difference. Than somebody who hired some people that accidentally contaminated his space. You know, it's different. Huge different. Gauff breaks back. Not even a comparison. I mean, yeah, it's not even close. Anyways, Gauff breaks back. We're back on serve 5-4. Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, it's almost... I wouldn't say Sinner's case is the least extreme of like the smallest thing of all time, because I feel like Swiatek's case was way... Like, that was almost like the smallest, babyest little, like... The opposite end of the Lance Armstrong, right? I feel like Swiatek's was like... How the hell, besides being a scientist and testing everything she puts in her body before taking it, how the hell was she supposed to know what that was going to do, right? You know, how was she supposed to know that an over-the-counter normal melatonin tablet was going to screw her up for a month? That's probably the most minute thing that's ever happened. One of the most minute. Unless you walk past someone and they sneezed on you and you got tested positive for something because you sneezed. Like that, I mean, you brushed on against somebody by accident, and that was like, that got into your system. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're Richard Gasquet and you're kissing people in the club. Like, that's probably I don't know if that happened. Allegedly. It's a cool story, though. It's a funny story, though. Advantage Djokovic. But yeah, like, her case is so accidental. And then like Lance's case is like so like deliberate, you know, that Sinner's way closer to Swiatek than Lance. Anyways, Gauff back on serve. As we get a 15-love scoreline. Good work from Gauff. By the way, Muller is playing a marathon game. He's just trying to hold. It's melatonin, it's for sleeping aid. Yeah, I take melatonin sometimes. It's totally just it's an over-the-counter thing to help your jet lag and help you sleep. All right, advantage Djokovic. Take the break. Advantage Djokovic. A break in the second. Wimbledon, big move moving Gauff onto court one, and it was a smart move too. They made a great call tonight, or today. You don't get sleep? Nope. Gauff serves an ace 5-5. I mean, look at me. Do I look like I sleep? Come on now. 5-all. Good fight back from Coco. As Muller serves the fault, second serve. All right. Serving to the backhand. Djokovic. Return goes to the forehand of Muller. Djokovic backhand slice in the net. And it's advantage Muller. How do I survive without sleep? I don't know. Advantage Muller. As the return goes out by Djokovic. 4-all. Muller holds. He holds. All right. 4-all. Djokovic to serve. As Yastremska 15-all serves in the form of Gauff. And then Yastremska hits a winner down the line. 30-15. All right. Djokovic serving to stay in front. As Djokovic 30 love. Forehand now from Yastremska to the forehand Gauff. Gauff hits it out. 40-15. As Yastremska serves again. Fault. Second serve. All right, Djokovic holds easily. And Yastremska also holds 6-5. Yastremska 5-4 Djokovic. Cool. Navratilova is the Wimbledon GOAT. Yeah, I mean, hard to argue. Coco is like Alcaraz, the love coming and waking up to win. That's just not easy on their fans. They love coming and waking up to win. Oh, you mean they love their slow start, or they just have random close matches maybe. But this isn't random. I mean, Yastremska is legit. Swiatek Raducanu is going to be a banger. I hope so. By the way, Monfils and Humbert are going 5. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. That was going to be 5 sets the moment they got drawn together. By the way, Azarenka's about to lose, which is a bit of a shame. And also, Pennington Jones takes out Echeverry. That's interesting. Great for the wild card. Jack Pennington Jones. We got to figure out a nickname for him. That's too long. JPJ. Something, I don't know. Anyways, Muller serving to stay in the set. Djokovic wins the point, love 15. Gauff's also down love 15, serving to stay in the set. And she serves a big serve down the tee that time. 15-all. $117-mile-an-hour serve for Coco. We already watched the biggest serve of Wimbledon history on the men's side. Can Gauff do the women's side? Love 30. Djokovic 2 points away from us. 2 sets of love lead. Yeah, Azarenka is losing. All right, love 30. Jack Pennington Jones doesn't give off private school posh boy vibes at all, does it? Yeah, he just needs like the third after it. Jack Pennington Jones the third. Anyways, 15. Where is Jack Pennington Jones from? Let me find out. Let's see. He was either born in the middle of Buckingham Palace, or he was, I I feel like he was from the rough streets of Birmingham. I feel like it's either or. It could go both ways. He could have been born on a could have been born in Windsor Castle, or he could be from the rough streets of Manchester. Where the hell is he? I can't even see his name. Anyways, 6-all. We're going to a tiebreak. Djokovic got 2 sets to love lead. If he can win one more point. Where the hell is he? Pennington Jones. Where is he? Oh, there he is. He was from Kingston upon Thames. Is that like in the middle of nowhere? 30-40. Kingston upon Thames. I mean, it kind of sounds fancy. Kingston. Oh, I know where that is. I know where Kingston is. I ended up in the night bus that. And I know exactly where that is. I accidentally went there. Anyways, 30-40. I know where Kingston is. Anyways, backhand dead line from Muller. He survives. Deuce. And Gauff serving. 1-love to the Yastrzemski in the tiebreak. Backhand return goes out. 1-all. I know exactly where it is. I woke up on a night bus at the end of the line. It was in Kingston. You know the story I was telling you in chat? We ended up in Kingston. And then we had to get the bus back at 4 in the morning. Is that a fancy place? It sounds fancy. Kingston does sound fancy. But it's outer London. It's like outer London. On the fringes of London. So it must be like zone 6 or 7, right? It's definitely not. It's not central. It's not. It's like way out in the way. Yeah, is it an affluent area? Okay. Gauff double faults 2-1. Yastrzemska. It's near Surbiton. That's a place they play tennis. Anyways, advantage Djokovic. Very upper class. Okay, so it is a fancy area. Kingston does sound fancy. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I did end up on the end of the line. It was the end of the night bus. Back in a backhand rally. So I was in the wrong place. I wasn't hanging out there very long. There's a backhand slice from Muller into the forehand of Djokovic. Backhand of Muller into the backhand of Djokovic, who hits it long, and we have to deuce as Gauff goes 3-1 down, or 1-3 down. All right, 3-1. Yastrzemska. As Djokovic tries to go for a 2-love lead. You lived in Acton before, right? Yep. I lived in Acton. East Acton. It was great. Anyways, Gauff gets back on the serve. 3-2. Advantage Muller. As we're flying out from Muller into the backhand of Djokovic. Muller backhand on the stretch. Djokovic forehand cross. Muller in the net. We get back to deuce. I used to roam around the streets of Shepherd's Bush and Hammersmith. That was where I hung out, near the Westfield. I went to Belushi's, and then I'd go down to Fulham and spend time down in all the places that are closed now, because I looked them up and I'm like, oh shit, all the bars that I went to are closed. So if I ever go back, I can't even see them. Anyways, we're back on serve here. 3-2. As that lob goes out by Nole, advantage Muller. You know those areas well? Yeah, I live there. Oh man, Gauff double faults twice in this tiebreak. 4-2 Yastrzemska. All right, 4-2. I loved Hammersmith. If I was rich, I'd live there. Advantage Muller as Djokovic hits it out. It's 5-5. The only reason I didn't live in Hammersmith was it's too expensive. I loved Hammersmith. I thought that place was so cool. But it was so expensive. It had like a clock tower and stuff, and it was a great station and a great, just a great area. I thought Hammersmith was sick. It was so nice. Richmond's lovely too. I had a friend that lived in Richmond. We went to the deer park in Richmond. There was deer. All right, Djokovic Bellucci levels. Bellucci? Who's Bellucci? What do we chat? Who are? Muller. 5-2, Ystremska. 6 a.m. chap. As we find out of the forehand of Ystremska. Backhand on the stretch from Gauff as Ystremska goes to the forehand of Gauff. Ystremska comes to the net. Gauff with a lob. And it goes in to the forehand of Ystremska. Gauff with the forehand again. Ystremska with a drop shot in the net. Good hustle by Coco. 5-3, Ystremska. My favorite was Kew Gardens. I feel like I went there. Elephant and Hammersmith. No, it's Elephant and Castle. I went to the Ministry of Sound once. Anyways, 5-3. Love Djokovic. As Ystremska. 5-3. She's got the mini break still. As the return goes into the forehand of Ystremska. Back in a Gauff on the stretch. Goes long. 6-3 Ystremska. Djokovic holds 6-5 in the second. Those sound like made up stereotype English place names. No, they're legitimate. I lived there. I used to live in Wimbledon. I lived in South Wimbledon for a year. And I'd go to the shopping center, which was called Centre Court, which is so appropriate. There was also a theater, also a Five Guys burger place there as well. As Ystremska gets a lovely volley winner, and that's the first set, 7-6. There was also a Slug and Lettuce at Wimbledon that I actually watched Wimbledon at in the area. What else was in Wimbledon? I can't remember. What else was there? I remember the streets. I can just remember walking up and down. I think there's a YMCA somewhere around there too. Somewhere around there, there's a YMCA. It was great. I loved living there. I lived on the shittier side of Wimbledon. I didn't live on this side where the tennis court was. I was living on the other side, in the south side of Wimbledon. I lived in the south side of Wimbledon. Not in the part where the tennis is. Yeah. Wimbledon is a town. It's not a city. No, it's a town. It's a part of London. It's an area. I didn't know Wimbledon is a name of city. Yeah, no, it's a name. It's actually Wimbledon is so SW. Okay, here's a history lesson. So Wimbledon is like a suburb. It's a part of London, right? It's a borough. I think that's what they call it. And SW19 is the postcode or the zip code of Wimbledon. That's what SW19 means. SW19 is Wimbledon's zip code. And then what they used to do, from what I can remember, so your zip code, full zip code would be SW19, and then it would be like something, something, something after that when you'd put your address down. So yeah, SW being southwest, southwest. So when I lived in Acton, which is in the west, it would be W. See, look. See? I lived in Acton, W3. W3. And then it would be, after that, you'd have like 3 more, you'd have like letter, number, or something like that. So I lived in W3. So that's what how London's split. So when you're in depending on which part of London you're in, if you're in the west or the east, your zip code starts with an E or a W or an S or an SW, or you're in an NW, or that's how they do it. W5 Ealing, oh nice. So yeah, SW19 is the, so there's SW blah blah blah, like SW9, there's all these SW everything's, and it determines what part of the London you're in. So SW is southwest because Wimbledon is southwest of London. It all makes sense, Chad. It all adds up. E17, there you go. Postcode, not zip code. I'm saying zip code because that's what the Americans use. I'm trying to speak to the Americans here. I know it's a postcode. We call it a postcode as well. I'm just using these vocabulary of the world so that people understand what is what. SW6, the best. There you go. People living in London love that. Anyways, Djokovic. He's going to play a tiebreak in the second set. Real English, yeah. I used to live in SW19 as well, but in Brixton. Okay. Harrods shop is SW1. Yeah. It's right in the middle of town. It's close to the middle of town. Anyways. Yeah, so SW19, Wimbledon's far away from the middle of London. Like, it's not, like, the Australian Open is in the middle of the city. If you want to go to Piccadilly Circus, it's going to take you a minute from Wimbledon. Like, I thought that Wimbledon was in the city. It's not close. It's kind of like Flushing Meadows. Flushing Meadows is not in the middle of Manhattan, right? You got to go out to Queens, right, to get there. And it's not, if you go to US Open, it's not easy. It's not like in the city or in the middle of the big part of the city, right? It's not, you can't go to Times Square in the US Open within 5 minutes. You got to take trains and buses and planes and shit. Same with Wimbledon. Wimbledon is not next to Big Ben. It's you got to travel like 45 minutes on a train. Not to mention you have to go on the District line, which is just absolute garbage and always breaks down. The District line sucks. There was always delays on the District line. It always broke. It was the end of the line. You always would take the Northern line down and then get off at South Wimbledon and just take the bus. Anyways, well, there's a bit of forehand now from Muller. Backhand, nope, that goes out by Djokovic. Pretty sure it was the Northern line. Was the Northern line the one that goes to South Wimbledon? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you take the Northern line down to South Wimbledon, and then you'd go up to wherever. That's how I'd get home. I'd skip the District line. District line is shite. All right, 2-1 Muller. Yeah, it takes 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, exactly. Wimbledon is... And the District line is so slow as well. Because it goes overground for a little bit. Through... God, I can't remember the places. I know they got fancy names. Putney? I remember I used to work in Putney. When I first moved there. 2-0. Go through Putney and go through some other things. Double fault Gauff. That's killing her right now. 1540. I lived in Northeast. Would have probably taken 2 hours. Oh, yeah. Northeast. I had friends that lived in up north. Near where the Emirates Stadium is. All right. 1540. Break points. I lived in London for 2 years. District line is the worst. Yeah, it is the worst line. District line sucks. Anyways, Yastrzemski on the attack. Hits it out. 30-40. As Djokovic hits the 3-2. District line's good now? Okay. All right, Coco in the net with a drop shot. Yastrzemski's up a set and a break. All right, Djokovic, he gets the 4-2. They change ends. As Muller double faults. You're from Aberdeen? I've been to Aberdeen. I went and saw a movie there once. And then I went to a Russian vodka bar. Is that still a thing? I don't know what it's called, but they had like Russian vodka roulette. It was a wild thing for them to do. All right. Setting a break for Yastrzemska. Did you attend Wimbledon while you were there? I did. I went to Wimbledon one time. And it was magical. I saw Nick Kyrgios. All right, backhand return from Gauff into the backhand of Yastrzemska. Gauff with the forehand. Into the net. Love 15 as Djokovic has a 5-2. Did you? Yeah. I've been to a Russian vodka bar in New York City. Okay, cool. All right. 5-2. Is it Russian Roulette, Union Street? I'm not sure what it was called. Is it a backhand now? Cross court goes wide by Gauff, and it's 15-0. As Djokovic hits a drop shot in the net, 5-3. Muller gets one of the mini breaks back. How does Russian vodka roulette work? You take a shot if you lose. No, I think it was like different. I can't remember. It was like they had like I think one of them was like spicy because it had like a whole bunch of different flavored vodkas. So they were all like some sweet ones, and then there was some like normal ones, and then there was like I think there was like a spicy one, and the spicy one was the loser. You lost. If you lost, you get the spicy one if you lost. Or if you pick the spicy one, you lose. Like that kind of thing. I think that's what it was. Yeah, you get a crappy shot. Yeah. The other ones were all like flavored and whatever. And then you get the one that just tastes like garbage. Anyways, 5-4. We're back on serve. Djokovic was cruising, and now he is not. Ever been to Radio Bar? Nice place for a drink near Embankment. I don't remember. I didn't go too much into town because it was too expensive. I went to the places in the West. Like Belushi's in Hammersmith and Shepherd's Bush and places out in Fulham. All right, back at return. Into the back of Muller. Great shot. Djokovic gets it. Muller forehand down the line is a winner. 5-all. Muller hanging in. After this set, they'll close the roof. They got to close the roof after this. By the way, the French Tennis Federation president is in the house. I remember him from the French Open when he gave the Rafa thing to Rafa. And also Muller's French, so it makes sense. All right, 2 love Yastrzemska in the second. All right, Muller serves. A fault. Second serve. By the way, what is it? 10-9 p.m. They got to close the roof after this game, after this set. As the return goes in the backhand of Muller, Djokovic forehand into the forehand of Muller. As Djokovic forehand down the line, Muller with the backhand to the slice of Djokovic. Muller backhand again, sliced. Into the backhand of Djokovic as Muller with the forehand goes long. Djokovic, set point to go up 2 sets to love. Also, Gauff is just trying to stay in this match. 6-5. 6-5. All right, serve again. Djokovic to take the commanding lead. Serve. Into the back of Muller. Volley Djokovic. Muller with a pass. And then Djokovic volleys it wide. Muller levels 6-all. They change ends. Djokovic serve and volley, and that is strange. All right. 6-6. Gauff's on the board, by the way. In the second. All right, 6-all in this tiebreak. Djokovic making the error, and his coaches are worried. All right, 6-6. Djokovic serves. And Muller hits it out in the return. 7-6 Nole. 6-7-6. 7-6. Set point number 2. Muller serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Return to the backhand of Muller. Djokovic backhand again. The backhand of Muller. Djokovic slice. Is out. 7-all. Chad, if Djokovic loses this set, this might not finish tonight. We played 2 hours already, an hour and 45-ish. And we've got 2 hours left. So, I mean, there's a chance this might push towards the curfew. But only if Djokovic loses this set. If he wins this set, I don't think it's going to be close. All right, serve. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Return goes to the forehand of Muller. Djokovic backhand on the stretch. Muller comes in with a volley. Smart shot. 8-7 Muller to level. Okay, please don't put scores in the chat. Or don't tell people in the chat what's going on because that ruins it for everybody. All right, Muller's got a set point. Djokovic has had a couple of set points for a 2-sets-to-love lead, but he has not been able to capitalize. And now Muller, a chance to take the second. Djokovic with a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Djokovic. Into the backhand of Muller. Return is good. Djokovic volleys it. Muller gets a forehand passing shot. Winner! One set all as they close the roof. Muller, he stole that. He stole that set. Djokovic should have been up 2-sets-to-love. Muller takes it 9-7 in the tiebreak. Oh, no. They're going to close the roof. This is going to be a late one. Yastrzemski's up 3-1. All right, Gauff to serve. Gauff's in big trouble. There's Gauff. Good serve. 15-love. This is going to be a weird Wimbledon if Djokovic loses. Well, it's a long way away from that. By the way, Yastrzemski found an earring. Coco's earring fell out. And Yastrzemska found it. And gave it back. 15 loves. As Coco serves. Fault. Second serve. Oh, double fault. Gauff's rushing her serves. Especially the second serve. She is rushing the serves. 7 double faults. All right, Gauff serves out wide. Another fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Yastrzemska, returns a winner. 15-30. 15-30. This is really dangerous for Gauff now. As she serves a fault, second serve. Double fault. Double fault. 15-40. Yeah, Coco just said, I can't serve. Serve from Gauff. Is another fault. Second serve. Into the backhand of Yastrzemska, return the net. Bad miss by Yastrzemska. 30-40. Why do they close the roof? Because there's the only way they can turn the lights on. As the return goes in the backhand of Gauff. Gauff in the net. Yastrzemska double break. 4-1. 4-1 Yastrzemska with a double break in the second. And Coco is in big trouble. I tell you what, it's not been a great start for the Americans. All right. Can Coco come back? Of course she can. But will she come back? We'll find out. It's been a wild first round of Wimbledon. I don't remember this being so crazy so quickly. By the way, only 2 other matches are going on after around with these ones. And they're in 5th sets. So those matches will end, and then they will... Because it's 9 o'clock. It's dark. It's dark out there. They don't usually play at 9. Usually around 9 o'clock they decide to call it off. I'm surprised that Monfils and Humbert are still going. I thought they might stop, but I guess they're going to try and push through. All right, Coco is in big trouble. Big trouble. Center court roof's almost shut. Serving the back in the Gauff. Return goes to front of Yastrzemska. He puts it in the net. Love 15. Love 15. As the return goes to front of Yastrzemska. Backing it from Gauff. Is long. 15-all. 15-all. Serve is a fault. Second serve. All right, 30-15. Serve again, Yastrzemska down the line to the point of Gauff. Yastrzemska goes To the backhand of Gauff. Drop shot is good. Yastrzemska gets there and puts it away. Gauff just didn't commit to the net. 4-15. Why doesn't Muller play like this every match, every day, and be rich? Is that what you're just quoting Medvedev? All right. 40-15. Yastrzemska to take a 5-1 lead. Serve. Into the forehand of Gauff. Return goes to forehand of Yastrzemska. Gauff, backhand. Into the forehand of Yastrzemska. She gets it back, and Gauff comes in and puts it away. 40-30. 40-30. By the way, is the roof stuck? Oh no, Chad. The roof is stuck. I think the roof... Oh, it's working again. I think they just ran over a bird. Anyways, good serving from Yastrzemska. 5-1. It just got caught, I think. 5-1. Yastrzemska, one game away from knocking out the number 2 in the world. We already lost Pegula today. All right, Gauff serving to stay in the match. She says a fault. Second serve. Double fault. That's been the story. Coco's double faults. Love 15. As Gauff serves again. Into the backhand of Yastrzemska. Return the forehand of Gauff. Yastrzemska in the net with the backhand. 15-0. Serving to the backhand. Yastrzemska is a fault again. Second serve. Second serve into the backhand. Yastrzemska. Return is a winner. 15-30. Yastrzemska will not be denied. 15-30. Her fourth return winner. Center court roof is shut. As the return goes wide by Yastrzemska. 30-0. Holy shit, that lady got so sunburnt. That lady was red. Holy hell. That lady forgot the sunscreen today. Backhand return goes back into Gauff. Gauff, it's a wide. Yastrzemska's got match point. 30-40. To take out Coco Gauff. Is this an upset? It is, but it's not unexpected. I think we all thought that Gauff had a terrible first round matchup. Yastrzemska is scary. She made a final on grass not long ago as that goes into the backhand of Gauff. Gauff goes in the net, and there it is. Yastrzemska wins. She knocks out the French Open champion. Chad, this is the weirdest Wimbledon so far. What a weird start. Very strange. Because we don't have this many upsets this early. We get like one upset in the first 2 days. We don't get multiple top 10 upsets in the first days of the tournament. Let me go through the list of who's lost. Djokovic, by the way, is one set all. I mean, it doesn't end. We've got... So on the women's side... No, on the men's side first. We'll go to the men's first. Zverev, Musetti, Rune, and Medvedev. 4 top 10 players gone. Round 1. On the women's side, Badosa, Zhang, Pegula, Gauff. So 8 of the top 10, 4 for men, 4 for the ladies, have lost. That's not even mentioning the top 32 seeds. Mukova's gone. Penko's gone. Frere, Linette, Kostyuk, and Kessler. On the men's side, Cerundolo, Poprin, Tsitsipas, Shapovalov, Bublik, Griekspoor, Berrettini, all good grass guys, some of those, and Mickelson. This tournament is wild, chat. We're day 2. I tell you, this chat, we're going to have some terrible third round matches. We're going to have some bad matches come up. This is what happens. And no disrespect to the players that win, because that's great for them. But there are going to be some horrible matches coming up. And it's not the players' faults. Well, it is. It's the player that loses. It's their fault. But every time we have every time we have upsets, it makes for a really... I mean, look at the French Open last week, right? Or a couple weeks ago. French Open, we didn't have upsets. And we had crazy quarterfinals. And then you look at the US Open last year, and we had upsets in the first couple of days, and we kind of got some random matches. And they were kind of weird. And they weren't great. And people fell off the tournament because they were like, I don't care anymore. This tournament's turning out to be a tournament that, unless you... half the top 10 are gone on day 2. We're going to have some random-ass matches, and that's going to be interesting. We're going to have some weird-ass matches. Anyways, let's move to the streams, because Djokovic is playing in the third. He's one set all. We're going to talk about those matchups in a second. What is actually going to be... what matches we could get now that all these players are gone. We can kind of assess what's going on, because we've only got this match left, pretty much. Djokovic getting some water and stuff. But Coco Gauff's out. Yastremska beats her. I think a lot of us thought that would happen. Maybe not unexpected, but definitely surprising. But then again, nothing surprising after what we've been dealing with all for the first 48 hours. It's been surprising from the start. But jump on over. Djokovic, he's in trouble. All right. Whew. So, chat, when I say terrible matchups, I mean not the matches we wanted or we expected, right? Again, no disrespect. By the way, Monfils about to win. Djokovic is not injured. He is just losing. He lost the second by this much. So we've got third round matches are looking so different to like 48 hours ago. So we were supposed to have Draper Bublik, right? Now we're going to get Draper Munar. A little bit different. There's a possibility that we get an Opelka Sonigo third round, which is not bad. It's not terrible. Monfils Shelton could be a third round. I love that. Didn't they play the Australian Open? So there are some good matches still, but they're not like the matches we thought. Yeah. I mean, Fritz is there, so Medvedev went down. So we're going to have like a Dadiri Bonzi third round. That was supposed to be Medvedev Popper. That's weird. We have a Borges Hashanov match, which that's an open section, so maybe not so weird. But we do have maybe a Quinn versus Garin third round instead of a Berrettini Zverev. Zverev Berrettini was supposed to be the match. We're going to get a Quinn versus Garin, possibly, which would be not the same. Instead of Runa versus Griekspoor, we're going to get maybe a Tien versus Fonseca. Which I don't mind that. That's fine for me. Instead of Tsitsipas Rublev, we're going to get maybe a Rublev versus Manarino. Which again, okay. On the women's side, though, things are getting real weird. So instead of Badosa versus Vekic, we might get a Bolta Vekic. Actually, that's not bad. That's all right. That's not terrible. That's not that bad. Instead of Zhang, we're going to get maybe a Osaka Kruger third round. Again, not too bad. But Pegula's section is brutal. Cocciaretto volley nets, winner plays maybe Bencic. And then maybe Alexandrova versus Wong, which is not bad. Wong's been good. But like the fourth round, I mean, that whole part of the draw is so open now. And then down the bottom, Yastremska Kenin, third round. Again, not terrible. Also, Dasha's draw has opened up so much that Dasha could make the quarterfinals if she does. By the way, Sakari, we're back in a second round. Have we not? Why did we not talk about that? When did that happen? Yeah, Dasha could make the quarterfinals. So I love that for Dasha. By the way, chat, I've almost completed my set of cards. I got the green one today. I've got all See all the colors? Look at all the colors, chat. You got silver, purple, blue, red. I just need the platinum. The platinum 1 of 1. That's the only one I'm missing from the set. But I've got the green. I've got the yellow or the orange or the whatever. I'm almost got my set of cards complete. We're almost set. I just need the platinum one. It's 1 of 1. So let's go Dasher. Yeah, Sakkari versus Raducanu is a crazy second round. Unexpected. They look awesome. Yeah, I love this. This is out of 5. This green one. It's a 2 out of, what is it? 2 out of 5? Yeah, 2 out of 5. This was a hard one to find. Second rarest card in the deck. But now I need to get the platinum, which is the hardest one. It's a 1 of 1. So if I ever see it, I'll be sure to try and get it. All right, one love. Muller in the third. We have an hour and 45 minutes to finish this match. So let's see what happens. By the way, thank you everybody who convinced me to watch golf. I'm glad we did. Give you $50 for those cards. Who said that? Who said that? Mods Finder, who said that? Add 2 zeros and we've got a deal. Muller with a lovely winner down the line. LA's like, it was Tony. It was Tony. Tony said it. That's right. You tell me who said it. You dob them in. You tell them. It was Tony. All right. Love 15. That's right. Thanks, Dutchie. That's right. You tell everybody. All right. That goes in the net from Djokovic. Love 30. Love 30. What a horrible Wimbledon. I don't know, but it depends who you follow. It's horrible if your favorite player lost. Has Muller beaten Djokovic before? I don't know. Oh, apparently Muller's on OnlyFans. They have played before. They played the US Open 2 years ago and Muller got smoked. Djokovic is 1-0 against Muller. Apparently Muller got he's not allowed to film at Wimbledon because he's an adult content star. Wait, what? Wait, there's no... He is a... Yeah, he's not allowed to film content from Wimbledon and put it on his OF. That's so funny. Anyways, I don't have an OF. Get stuff. 30 or sorry. Hey, look, Muller's making that sponsor. He's getting that money. Yeah, somebody go check it. So who's subscribed to his thing? Go check it out. I'm sure it's just behind the scenes tennis content. I'm sure it's nothing weird, chat. I'm sure it's nothing sus, all right? I'm sure it's just him. It's probably just a couple of thirst traps that Stan Wawrinka gives out for free on the Instagram, all right? I'm sure it's just a couple of sweaty shirts and I'm sure it's nothing crazy, all right? It's just some thirst trap shit, all right? Flying down the line of the backhand rally. As Muller in the net, 40-30. Yeah, I'm sure it's just, it's totally above board. It's just a behind-the-scenes look into tennis life. Yeah, I'm sure it's not anything not safe for work or anything. All right, return goes in to the forehand of Djokovic. Djokovic in the net, deuce. How would you know? No, I'm just asking you. I'm trying to keep it above board. How do you get these cards? eBay. I got these on eBay. You can get them from all different kinds of. I think there's 200 different players in the set, but I've obviously got the Dasher ones. All right, deuce. As we return now into the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand now from Muller to the forehand of Djokovic. Djokovic is the winner. Advantage Nole. Advantage Djokovic. Advantage Djokovic. As Djokovic says again. As Muller hits a lovely drop, lovely forehand, and it's back to deuce. Do I have any Alcaraz cards? No, because they're expensive. And they are hard to find. And expensive. All right, serve out wide. The forehand of Muller. Return goes out, and it's advantage Djokovic. Advantage Djokovic. As Djokovic tries to level this first games of the third. And he does. 1-1. 1-1. Are they like baseball cards for tennis? Yeah, they are. Okay. As we return out of the forehand of Muller, it goes out in the return. 15 love. Or did he double fault? No, 15 love. Are they tops? Yeah, they're called Tops Tennis royalty cards. They're like a new series, the newest series. They're very, I like them. I think they're awesome, which is why I collect the whole set. As Muller gets a lovely volley, Djokovic somehow gets it back. Muller comes in with the drop shot, but Djokovic puts it away. Good rally. Great rally by both. 15-0. Nole just too quick. Still at 38. By the way, Djokovic is looking tired. A little tired. All right. Lovely rally. Again, Djokovic is playing very, casual. Muller, by the way, just couldn't do enough with that volley. He just put it straight to Djokovic instead of hitting it cross court. All right, 15-0. As that goes out on the return from Nole. 30-15. All right. 30, 30 all. As Djokovic hits it out on the return, 40-30. As Muller gets the game and stays in front 2-1 in the third. Also, it looks like the trainer's coming out for Nole. Okay. Djokovic is struggling under this humidity, I think. Yeah, he's sweating a storm and he's talking to the doctor. All right, doctor's out. Muhammad Alani in the house, by the way. He's the main man. But yeah, Djokovic looking a little fatigued. They're going to give him some medication, I think. This is all good for Muller. He must be quietly happy. And Djokovic just kind of sitting there looking a little tired. All right, they're giving him a special medicine. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But Djokovic's getting a medical timeout and taking some fluids. And Muller is just stretching his legs. Probably dizzy as well, yeah. I tell you this though, Muller's got to take advantage. If Muller doesn't win this set, Djokovic will win this in 4. 40 minutes of the curfew? There's no way. There's no way it's 40 minutes. It's an hour and 40. Is it? It's an hour and 40, right? Yeah, an hour and 40 minutes. We got an hour and 40. You're robbed us of an hour. I was going to say, it doesn't... we got some time. We got time. All right. Djokovic to serve. 2-1 Muller. As Muller can't get that one. 15 love. Serve again. And the return goes in the net from Muller. 30 love. Serve again. Where's the curfew timer that you used to have for Wimbledon? Yeah, we'll put it up if it's under an hour. I'm not going to put it up for an hour and 40 minutes. That's too long. Once we get to like sub 1 hour, that's when we can. When it feels like we're counting down to something. We'll put it up. But the thing is, and the more I think about it, the more I think it's probably true. And we spoke about this earlier about the curfew. Why yesterday they went probably a little too safe. I think I would be shocked if Wimbledon let them play until 11. I don't think they're going to leave it until the last second to be like, all right, it's 11 o'clock, that's enough. I think they're going to try and finish. They're going to try and stop early because if you don't know what's going on behind the scenes of Wimbledon, so behind the scenes, Wimbledon are trying to apply and trying to get granted an extension to be able to build tennis courts across the road and extend the facilities. But the thing is, the locals don't want that. People don't want that. They don't want more people at the tennis. They don't want more people in their neighborhood. They don't want to have that happen. Also, they don't want, for the 50 weeks of the year that Wimbledon's not used, to have just random tennis courts everywhere. They'd rather it be used for something better and for the community, right? So they are not, like, people are opposed to that extension and that proposal. The council are going to be, they're on the people's side because they've got to deal with those people 24/7. They just got to deal with the tennis people for 2 weeks, right? So that is what's going on in the background. And so I think that maybe because of that situation, Wimbledon are not going to try, because Wimbledon are already in the bad books for the locals. They don't want to piss the locals off anymore if they can avoid it, right? So I don't think they're going to try and push until the curfew time. I think they're going to try and cut it short so that they can play nice with the public and maybe eventually get them on side for the new proposal to be granted. Again, it's a big conspiracy. Maybe I'm wearing a tinfoil hat under this wig, but I feel like they're going to play it safe just because they don't want to piss anybody else off. Because they don't want to ruin their chances of making this tournament bigger, you know. And they're already in the bad books, you know. So I don't think they want to, again, piss off the locals anymore. So we're more likely to see them finish at 10:30 than 11, you know. And there's no way they're going over the curfew. Otherwise, they're going to get probably fined. But also, it's going to be a big mark against them if they ever want anything to do with that extension. And it's a cool proposal. They're going to build a whole new stadium. They're going to build like all these new tennis courts and stuff. It's awesome as the tennis fans, but for the locals, they hate it. They don't want it. Because for them, it's useless. You know, they can't use them. Anyways, backhand slice. 30-15. 15-30. Djokovic hits the backhand wide, and it's 30-all, and he almost fell over. 30-all. Could they make it a multi-purpose for the extension? Again, I don't think the locals want people to come to the tour, to the thing, you know? I don't think they want to make a multi-purpose stadium so then more people want to come to Wimbledon. I don't think the locals want Wimbledon to be they for 2 weeks a year, fine, but after that, get out of our town, you know, like let us be, you know. They don't want to invite people into if they don't have to, you know. 40-30. But yeah, Google if you Google the Wimbledon extension, it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool as a tennis fan. But yeah, like I said, they've come up against a couple of roadblocks because the expansion plan is not favorable for the locals. They don't like it. But I think it looks great. So it's across the street where the old golf course used to be. They're going to build a whole new, you know, a third stadium, you know, and have a bunch of practice courts and stuff out there. And it's going to be awesome, but obviously awesome for fans of tennis. Maybe not so much for the locals. But again, That's what they're trying to do. So again, why? Another reason why I don't think they're going to try and push their luck with these with this curfew. They're not going to try and push it. Yeah, they want to triple in size by 2030. By extending across the road and adding extra courts and stuff. I think it's a cool. It looks cool. But also it's going to be hard to get it through because they've already hit a bunch of roadblocks. Anyways, Djokovic got a break point. Monfils won. Nice. They want to triple the size of the people they can accept into Wimbledon. Because Wimbledon is a very small venue. If you've ever been or ever seen it on TV or ever seen it on Google Maps, it's a very small venue. So they want to extend over the road so they can invite more people and sell more tickets as well. Anyways, forehand slice from Djokovic on the stretch as Muller goes down the line. Djokovic backhand passing shot. Muller with a volley is a winner and it's deuce. All right, we get the deuce. Serve again from Muller, trying to stay in front here. There's a bit of forehand in the net from Djokovic. Advantage. Muller. Advantage Muller. As he serves a let. As the return goes to forehand to Muller. He hits it out and we get to deuce. All right, we get to deuce. As we serve out wide as a fault, second serve. Second serve. As the return goes back into Muller. Muller hits it long. Advantage Djokovic. To take the break in this third set. We've got 90 minutes left. 90 minutes left. Actually, you know what? See if I can find a 90-minute countdown. I mean, I can, but it's not looking... Doesn't look good. Djokovic breaks. We might not need the countdown. All right. Djokovic takes a break. 3-2 in the third. 2 hours and 22 minutes played. Trainer's back on court for Djokovic, just asking questions. All right. Muller might take a 5. Muller's now got the trainer on court as well. For a cramp in the leg, it looks like. So Muller's got the trainer. Trainer is the most popular person at Wimbledon right now. All right. Yeah, he's got like a cramp in the calf. Double physio, yeah. Hey, Bulls get a medical timeout. What puppy? Five setters seem to be as mental as it is physically. Oh yeah, for sure. Rockies versus Astros are tonight. Oh, that happens in like 4 hours. All right. Rockies are terrible. Shut your face. You shut your mouth. Noah. Anyways, Noah, who do you go for? You sound like a salty fan. Okay. Muller's getting a medical timeout, but Djokovic also has had medical timeouts. Who's the Bombers playing this week? We're playing the Gold Coast Suns, who are very good. So I'm a little nervous. Sorry, Cam. Just this year, the Rockies are bad. Historically bad. I'm a Tigers fan. I know what Tigers are, but okay. That's okay. I feel like Tigers can't be good because I've never heard of them. So the Rockies are we're a battler. We're a battling team. Every win's a win for us. Whereas, bigger teams, it's Super Bowl or bust. But for us, we celebrate the little wins. Oh, the Detroit Tigers. Oh, I've heard of them. Yeah, we are the team that celebrate every little milestone. That's what we do. We're small picture. We're just looking at the small picture. We're just taking it match by match. We're not like one of these big-ass teams who are like, oh, hurry up to the finals. We'll see you in the World Series. We're just waiting. We're just enjoying day to day. I don't mind the Rockies. I hope they can turn things around. Thank you, Noah. I appreciate that. Well, good luck to your Tigers, unless they're playing the Rockies, and then we'll talk about it then. The Bombers are battlers. The Bombers are just we have no team. Chad, I'm not making excuses, but our team, Essendon, has been cursed by injury. We've had so many good players injured. And then luckily it gives us an opportunity though. I'm optimistic. It gives us an opportunity to bring in young players who then get a chance to play who wouldn't have gotten a chance. So it's bad for 2025, but it's good for the future. So all our best players, most of our best players are not allowed to play because they're hurt. But it gives a chance for the young players. So then next year, we're in a better position when the other players come back from injury, and then the young players are experienced. We're going to be a better team for it. So I'm optimistic, even though it sucks right now because our best players are all injured. Most of our best players are injured, especially our really best players are out for the whole year. But then next year, when they come back, we'll be better, and we'll be much better for it. Anyways, love 15. As Djokovic could serve 15-0. Serve again. Can you spot me behind the chair umpire with the white hat on? There's 5 people with a white hat on. Wait, are you for real or are you just trolling me? Are you messing with me? You need a wave. Just do this. Just put your hands in the air and I'll see you. Because that's so weird to do that. Put your hands up. I can't see you. Do this. It'll be strange and we can see you. Djokovic serves an ace and it's 4-2 Djokovic in the third. I'm waving with both hands now. Damn it, I can't see you. Wave. Chat. Look at the screen. Does anyone see? Don't get kicked out, though. They're going to be like, sir, can you please stop waving? What are you doing? They show up for like a split second. All right, I'll be on the lookout. Chat, be on the lookout. Yeah, they showed the moon instead. All right, 15 love. Needle in a haystack, yeah, pretty much. Wait, are you behind this? Are you sitting? How high up are you? Are you on like in the front row or where are you? I'm looking at the front row. You might be like way back where might not be able to see you like up the top. No chance. Unless you're like, if you're like in the third row, then maybe. Behind the umpire, yeah, but that could be like at the back of the stadium. Curfew starts. Curfew's in an hour and a half. Look up? Well, the camera's not looking up. All right, backhand goes into the slice of Djokovic. Lob goes up. And then a smash from Muller's a winner, and it's 30-15. Yeah, I can't see you. Have fun, though. Enjoy. Don't get kicked out. 30-15. Let's just finish this game. I've been waving my hand. How far behind the chair are you, though? 30-all. You might be like way back in the shadows where up the top. I can't see there. You got to tell us which row. Like how close to the front. Are you like 5 rows back? What's up? Because then we can get a better indication. We can scan the row. He's trolling you? Nah, Daniel, you are. Row J. All right. Daniel, you're too skeptical, mate. You got to believe that people are honest. Double fault Muller. 30-40. Yeah, don't get kicked out. I don't want you to know. I feel bad. We have tennis talk hats in the store. Anyways, good serving Muller. Deuce. I feel like we could see. I think row J is like in that front tier, right? Run to the court. No, don't do that. As Muller hits in the net, advantage Djokovic for a double break in this third set. As we serve the back of Djokovic, return the back of Muller. Djokovic backhand again, the back of Muller. The backhand Djokovic on the stretch. Muller down the line. As Djokovic forehand cross. Muller into the backhand slice of Nole. As Muller backhand again. Djokovic slices it back. Muller backhand again. The back of Djokovic. As Muller hits a forehand in the net. There's the double break. 5-2 Djokovic. All right. Can we find the person in the chat in the real life? It's time to wave my hat now. Okay. Well, they're not showing the crowd, so you wave. Wave that hat. They're showing replays. They're not showing... Unfortunately, they're not showing anything. They're showing replays. They're avoiding the crowd. Chat, be on the lookout. They're just showing Djokovic hitting a backhand. All right. Keep waving. Don't get kicked out. I'll feel bad. Oh, hang on. I'm looking. Anyone, chat, can you see anyone shake it? Anyone doing whatever? I can't tell. You might be too far back. They're not showing everything. Yeah, you'll start waving your hand, then a Mexican wave breaks out. I'm over here, and everyone's like, woo! All right, I couldn't see. They're not showing. Go sit in the royal box or something. Don't do that. Djokovic serving for a 2-1 lead. They're not showing far enough back, I don't think. They're only showing like the first couple of rows. All right, return goes to forehand to Djokovic. To the back of the Muller. Djokovic forehand to the back of the Muller again. To the forehand to Djokovic. Muller backhand again to the forehand to Djokovic. Muller hits it out. 15 love. Love. 15 love. It's going to fold again. Second serve. As the return goes in the forehand to Djokovic. Forehand now from Muller. Goes out. 30 love. All right, 30 love. As Djokovic gets a 40 love to take a 2-1 lead. 40 love. As he serves a fault. Second serve. Let's just finish the set. I'll be standing with 2 hats in my hands, one off my mate. Okay. So you know he's not trolling. This is commitment. You're committing. I mean, this is a commitment. All right, 40-15. Cam, are your quarterfinal predictions were viable given the early upset seeded? I didn't make quarterfinal predictions. Serve to the back of Muller. Return goes out, and Djokovic has got a 2-1 lead. Quick, wave! Wave the hats, quick. All right. Wave those hats. If I see you, I'm going to laugh. Oh, are the people coming? Are the tournament directors coming out to see what's up? They probably look at the guy waving hats. The security's like, who is that? What's that guy doing? I think you're bringing attention to yourself. Quick, sit down. They were like, what the hell is that guy doing? What is he doing this for? Please don't get kicked out. I really don't want you to get kicked out. That would be really disappointing. I don't want that for you. Just like subtly wave the hats. Like pretend you're like waving to someone across the other side or something. They showed the crowd for a millisecond. I know, they're not giving nothing. Go to Henman Hill. We can see people there. Wave the hats at Henman Hill. Wish Novak wouldn't do that fake injury thing. He didn't do it. He's fine. They're all. I saw them wave. The people on Henman Hill were waving. Murray Mound. No, it's Henman Hill. Murray's got a statue. Henman's got a hill. All right. Give the man a hill. Throw a tennis ball on the court. Please don't do that. I don't want anybody to get in trouble on my account. Djokovic making a potion. You're a wizard, Harry. Come on, show the guy with the two hats in his hand. No. They're not showing the crowd. They're not giving you the time of day. Anyways. Go sit next to Judy Murray. We'll see you. We can see you there. Go sit next to Judy. Judy! We love you. All right. Muller serving first in the fourth. Please don't get kicked out. Enjoy your time. Enjoy the set. Don't worry about getting on the TV. But I appreciate you being in the chat as well at the same time as being at the Wimbledon. Is there got good reception there? All right, serving to the forehand of Djokovic. Return the backhand of Muller. Djokovic slice. To the forehand of Muller. Djokovic backhand lob. Muller puts away the smash. 30 love. It's Dr. Judy Murray now? Doctor of what? What does she become a doctor at? Doctor... Like, what do you mean? All right, backhand to backhand rally. As Muller gets a forehand on the stretch in the net. 30-15. All right, 30-15. Cam is inspiring in this degen behavior. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that the fun police were here today. All right. 30-all. As the return goes into the forehand Muller. Forehand now from Djokovic to the forehand Muller. As the forehand Djokovic goes, the forehand Muller down the line to the backhand of Djokovic on the stretch. Muller forehand cross court. Djokovic gets it. Into the net though, and it's 40-30. Serve. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Return goes back to Muller. Djokovic backhand. Into the slice of Muller. As Djokovic is in the net. One love. Muller in the fourth. Okay. All right. One love Muller in the third. Give that kid a medal. That's hilarious. That kid just... Give that kid a trophy or something. That was funny as hell. I love 15. It looks at the camera. I love that. Good one, kid. Good one. He's just looking around and then all of a sudden he looks at the camera. That's classic. That was a good one. Love 15. Give that kid a promotion. All right. Muller hits, Djokovic hits it at love 30. That was good. That was a good one. That was a good one. Give that kid a promotion. Love 30. Was that the guy in the chat? Where's your hats? Love 30. There's Muller on the net, 50-30. That was so funny. By the way, chat, I'll tell you what you got to do. I saw this. This thing's happened in Australia a couple of times. What you got to do is one of you have to go to the tennis and try and find out how to be the coin flipper. And what you got to do, there's people in Australia do this all the time, is you got to flip the coin and then just look, and then look for it. Someone has to do that. One of you have to do that. One of you have to get accepted to do that at like the US Open or something. And I want you, because you know how they get like random people. Djokovic hit the smash, Muller puts up a lob, but it's out and it's 30-all. You know how they get like at Cincinnati and stuff? They get like, you know, just like members of the public. We need one of you to do that. That would be so funny. And just like, you flip it. And then you just got to look for where it went. There's this guy that did it at a football game in Australia. So funny. That shit is so funny. I'd do it, but they wouldn't let me in. So, but you got to do that. Like we got to get one of us to do that. We're going to try and find out how to be a coin flipper at the Australian Open or at a tennis event. Anyways, 30-40. Muller's about to break here in the fourth. That would be so funny. Deb, you need to go to the tennis and do it. That would be classic. Dutchie, go to the Canadian Open and do that. Greg's, I want to see you do that at the Canadian Open. That would be so funny. Then we know who it is. Anyways, Djokovic with an ace deuce. That'd be so good. Anyone who gets the chance to do the coin toss, I want you to do that. That would be you will be a legend for that. Not just on the channel, but in general. Like people in the tennis world would find that hilarious. As that goes in by Muller. Great return advantage Muller to take the break in the fourth. Chat, if the Australian Open ever let me go and do that, I will do it. If I ever get accepted to go and do it, I will do it. If they ever let me let me in. Anyways, back in a backhand rally. As we're back in from Djokovic, the slice of Muller. Djokovic into the forehand, Muller in the net. And we get back to deuce. Maybe when tennis Canadian Open, new venue at Edmonton. Okay. Maybe. Camwood for sure. Oh, yeah. I'll do it for the laugh. All right. Backhand now from Djokovic. In the forehand, Muller. Oh, he pushed it wide. He had the shot too, and he just... All right. I think Muller's saying the courts are too slippery. Is Muller saying the courts are too slippery? I wonder if they're going to make any... If they're going to care. Advantage Djokovic. By the way, chat, at the end of this set, if it does go 5, they will have a discussion to see whether or not they'll play the rest of the match. Djokovic 1-all. It comes down to this set. If Muller wins, we probably come back tomorrow. All right, 1-1 in the fourth. All right. 1-1. As return goes the backhand of Muller. Backhand of Djokovic. The forehand of Muller. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Muller backhand slice. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Drop shot's good. Muller gets there with the backhand pass, but Djokovic volleys it into the open court. Love 15. Love 15. Love 15. As with love 15. By the way, chat, can tomorrow we not finish at midnight? Can we finish at before they have to close the roof? Can we finish at 8 o'clock tomorrow? Can tomorrow be an earlier night, please? There's a bit of backhand out from Muller. That goes out. Love 30. As Djokovic's son throwing fists. He's getting punchy. All right, serve again. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Return goes in the forehand of Muller. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Sliced. Into the slice of Muller. Djokovic gets the point though. Muller hits it out. Love 40. Love 40. To take the break in the fourth. As Muller serves a fault. Second serve. As with a forehand and a forehand rally. Backhand out from Muller. Into the slice of Djokovic. Muller backhand. Again to the slice of Djokovic. As Muller. Slice in the line. Djokovic forehand passing shot wide. 15-40. All right. Still break points, 15-40. Muller with a good serve. $15-40. Oh, sorry, 30-40. Muller. Serves again. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Backhand of Muller. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Is Muller backhand again. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Is Muller backhand again. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Who hits it out. We get the deuce. All right, we get the deuce. All right. As Muller gets to advantage. Good serving. Cam just yawned only once. Why are you counting my yawns? Why? That's weird. All right. As Muller hits it out, and we went back to deuce. As Muller gets to advantage. Advantage Muller. As Djokovic is a lovely winner, and we get back to deuce. All right, back to deuce. As Muller eventually hits to the net. And it's advantage Djokovic to break. I can't put the clock on the screen, which is annoying. All right, Djokovic breaks. Won't matter anyway. I don't think we're going to hit the curfew. All right. Djokovic gets the break. Why? Why is it not working? It's not working. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out this later. Anyways, we're probably not going to get close to the curfew anyway, so no matter. How we doing, chap? What is up? What a crazy day. I'll tell you what, this has been the craziest 48 hours of a slam for a long time. It's been a long start to the tournament. Have I ever been to Wimbledon? Yep. I went once, it was great. It's been a wild Wimby, that's it. It has been a wild Wimby. Which match are you going to be streaming tomorrow? I don't know. Center court looks good. But other than that, I'm not sure. I have not made a decision. No sleep to a Hammersmith. Why? I'm not afraid of a fan of this much craziness. I mean, yeah, it has been very crazy. Too crazy, I would also say. But hopefully it will just chill out over the next few days, then it'll get crazy again in a couple of days, like in a week. Djokovic with the volley, too good. And it's 15 love. 15 love. As we just serve out wide, an ace from Djokovic, 30 love. Do you think all the upsets could make the remaining seeds extra nervous? Yes. I think there is definitely a ripple effect that happens when big names start to lose. Other names probably get nervous, for sure. $30 love. That guy has a great shirt. I love that shirt. I want that shirt, chat. It's not a superstitious thing. It's just like nervous. I mean, because it works both ways, right? Because what happens is you have one all the seeds. If you see other seeds losing, you're going to think, oh shit, am I going to be next? But all the players that are unseeded that are beating the seeds are going to inspire other unseeded players to think they can do it too. Like if you see Yastremska beat Gauff, you might go, yeah, I can beat Swiatek, right? So it works kind of both. I think it works both ways. Like it's probably works more the other way. Like, you know, if you're a seeded player and you see seeded players lose, you're probably thinking whatever. You're trying to block that out. But if you're seeing that seeded players are pushing the big names, the unseeded players are pushing the big names, you might be like, I'm next. I'm going to create some history. I'm going to beat the next one, you know? I think that the inspiring of the others is probably the more likely thing. Like if you see Rinderknech beat Zverev, you might go, yeah, I can beat Djokovic. Sure. Why not? If he can do it, I can do this, you know? All right, 30-40, Muller to get back on serve. And it all started when Alcaraz went to 5 sets against Fognini. A7T. When that happened, Wimbledon went sideways. You literally stayed up all night. You don't even sound tired right now. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Okay. Serve again. Into the forehand is a fault. Second serve. So the let second serve. First serve again. Serve. There's a let. Cam is seasoned at this. I could never. Yeah. We will... it is what it is. We'll push until... We're going to keep doing this as long as possible. All right, advantage Djokovic. Nice ace down the tee. I'm just hoping tomorrow is a little less hectic. But the schedule's not as bad. So tomorrow, like all the upsets have kind of given us a little bit of a break tomorrow. We don't have as many matches to watch. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand now from Muller. Into the backhand of Djokovic on the stretch. Muller slice. Into the forehand of Djokovic is Muller. Into that Djokovic backhand. Muller backhand. Into the Djokovic backhand to the forehand of Muller. There's Djokovic forehand again to the forehand of Muller. It's a winner. Muller gets the deuce. By the way, correct me if I'm wrong. Muller won Rio. Yes? And he won Hong Kong. I think, right? So he has won big trophies before. Like, Muller's having a good year. I think he might have beaten Rublev and Zverev. Or did he make the final of Rio? Made the final. He beat Fonseca. I remember that. He made the final of Rio. Won Hong Kong. Okay. And I think he might have beaten Zverev. I think he beat Rublev start of the year, but I think he might have beaten Zverev as well. Lost to Baez in Rio, yeah. He beat, Zverev in Hamburg. So he's had a year. He's having his best year, Muller. And to get a set of Djokovic at Wimbledon, I mean, that's adds another little tick to the resume. He beat Feast in Hong Kong as well. All right, see you later. Thanks for waving your hat. Get home safe. Advantage Djokovic. Serving to the backhand of Muller. Muller in the net. 3-1 Djokovic. 3-1. 3-1. 3-1. 27 minutes for 4 games. Yay. Muller's no slouch. Yeah, I agree. All right, return goes in the back of Muller. Slice from Djokovic is a drop shot. Muller gets it with a forehand. Djokovic volleys it away. And it's love 15. All right. By the way, chat, should I get breakfast or should I just pass out after this? Breakfast or bed? All right, 15-0. Pancakes. That sounds delicious. Woo! Get breakfast. Omelette and pass out. Omelette does sound delicious, to be honest. By the way, chat, we're going to end with an inspirational quote at the end of this match, so just get ready to be inspired. As with a backhand now, down the line from Muller to winner, it's 30-15. All right, 30-15. All right. As Djokovic gets a 30-0. Please don't put scores in the chat. 30-0. The decision here from Muller is a fault second serve. Serving the corner, Djokovic return winner, 30-40. 30-40 to get the double break here in the fourth. 30-40. As the return goes into the corner, Muller. Djokovic on the stretch. Muller with a half volley pickup winner. And he survives Muller. Djokovic slipped over. I put $500 on Muller. I'm stupid. Why would you do that? When did you do that? How did... All right, deuce. All right, advantage Muller. Good serve. Advantage Muller. As Djokovic hits another winner and it's back to deuce. Whew. Ooh, Bobby. Are you working day and night, 24 hours, have done any wrong? Are you working day and night shift, 24 hours, have done any wrong? Is that a song? What are you singing or are you asking a question? Deuce. As with a fault second serve. 40 minutes to the curfew, yep. I mean, if Muller breaks back, we're going to have a chat. All right. Judy Murray disapproves. Advantage Muller. Hey, the golf guy's there. You know, the guy, Justin Rose. All right. Muller with the slice. Djokovic with the forehand. Into the forehand. Muller on the stretch. Djokovic forehand again. Goes wide. Muller 3-2 Djokovic. Muller holds. He looks tired. He's like, fucking tennis. This shit takes forever. When it gets dark, we leave the golf course. This is shit. He wants to go home. All right. It ain't over till it's over. That is correct. What do I have for food? I don't know. I don't have any food. Fuck. I don't want donuts. Justin Rose can play. Yeah, didn't he almost win this year's goal? He won some. He was like in the final, wasn't he? Of wasn't he? He was like he almost won something this year, right? Wasn't he in a playoff with Rory? Or am I remembering that totally wrong? Wasn't him? He was in the playoff with Rory, right? To win that Masters. Somebody back me up. Somebody say yes. Yeah, the Masters. Okay, cool. I'm not an idiot. I see. I'm smart. I know what I'm saying. Yeah. I saw that. I mean, I saw I didn't watch it, but I knew that happened. Do you have a Denny's? Nope. Denny's not here. All right, Muller's got to try and break back. But Djokovic says it ain't happening. Ooh, a breakfast wrap. That does sound nice. Mega barbecue brekkie wrap. With a flame grilled beef and sausage patty, double premium bacon, double cheese, a freshly cracked egg, and a hash brown. We'll take one of those. All right, 30 love. French toast and bacon? I can't find French toast. It's not on the menu. All right, Djokovic is it out, 30-15. That does sound good. Yeah, I made it sound good. It was the way I said it. All right, 30-15. Djokovic serves a fault. Second serve. Turn the backhand to Djokovic. Backhand from Muller. In the net, 40-15. All right, backhand goes in the backhand of Djokovic. Muller forehand. Djokovic goes again the forehand. Muller into the backhand of Djokovic, who hits a winner. And Muller will serve again. All right. All right. Cool. Okay, Djokovic 4-2. And the crowd are cheering Nole. 35 minutes with the curfew, but unless Morley breaks back, it's going to be it. We don't have Raising Canes here either. Oh, man. Oh, French toast. $22. I want a breakfast burrito. That sounds delicious. Okay, 4-2. As Muller losing the point, Djokovic gets to love 15. Again, great hitting from Nole. He wants to get out of here. We can make you French toast. But it won't get here in time. As Muller hits in the net, love 30. I think this crowd are cheering because it's almost over. I don't think they're cheering because it's for any reason. They just want to go home. 22 for French toast. Does that come with stuff? Yeah, it comes with a diamond ring. Love 30. So about why the forehand of Djokovic return goes to the forehand of Muller, and he puts it behind Nole. La 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 la. 15-30. As with a backhand slice into the forehand of Muller to the forehand of Djokovic. Djokovic hits it on the line. Muller hit it wide. 15-40. Djokovic to take the double break and serve for the match with 30 minutes to spare. Okay. We'll go with that one. All right, Djokovic returns and wins the game and the 5-2 lead. He's going to serve the match. All right. All right. All right, chap. All right. Upset of the day? I don't know. There's about 7 of them. Tomorrow, chat, we'll probably have a lot less intense day, or maybe the matches are going to be short and crazy, but we're definitely not, hopefully not going to have to watch 7 matches at the same time. Tomorrow will be a little less mess, hopefully. But hopefully the matches we do watch are still epic. Djokovic serving for the match. It's been a crazy 2 days. It's been a crazy start to the tournament. I don't even know who's still playing. I don't even know what match, what's happening. I don't even know who's playing. How's my predictions? I don't even know. Don't tell me. No worries. Thank you, Antoinette. You have a nice name. 15 love. There's a bit of fault second serve. What the hell are my predictions looking like? Yeah, Alcaraz, Raducanu, and Sabalenka, and everybody else. Here are my predictions. I found them. So Eala, she lost. So that's a bump bow. As Djokovic gets to 30 love. So Eala lost. I picked both the upsets. Two of the 700 upsets. I picked Badosa to lose, and she lost, and I picked Musetti, so that was a win. Bublik Dark Horse, well, that was terrible. Mardic lost as a quali. And I've got Pegula wrong as well, but everybody else I'm all good. Djokovic, Sinner, Alcaraz, Fritz, Palini, Sabalenka, Raducanu are also alive. Okay, match points for Djokovic, 40 love. To get to the second round and get out of this match. It's just been awkward. Serve out wide, Muller returns. That goes out. Djokovic wins. All right. Novak Djokovic is into the second round. He probably shouldn't have had to play an extra set, but he lost the second. Muller put up a good fight in that second set. Muller's having a good year. Definitely remember the name. Muller is a problem. Like, he has been a problem on all surfaces this year. So, not someone you should overlook. But Djokovic takes the win. And thus ends the day of two. They keep showing Muller on Eurosport. Yeah, because he keeps winning. So, you'll definitely know a lot more about him. Schedule for tomorrow is already out. How far do you think Van der Zandschulp will go? I have no idea. Muller got to set off Djokovic. That's an accomplishment, but Djokovic is through. Yep. It's a weird point in tennis when we have to watch Djokovic first round. It's a weird point in tennis when we have to watch Djokovic first round. What do you mean? Oh, what schedule? What are we going to watch tomorrow? Is that what you're asking? Let me check. If you are leaving, do it a sub on the way out, please. And thank you. So tomorrow, okay, so tomorrow, center court, Sabalenka, Buzkova, Alcaraz, Tarvet, Raducanu, Vondrousova. Court 1, you got Norrie, Tiafo, Bolter, Sierra, Fritz, Diallo. Court number 2, Keys versus Danilovic, Borges versus Harris, Osaka versus Siniakova, Ferry versus Dodiri, Fonseca's on court 12, a.k.a. the middle of nowhere. Palini's playing outside there as well. And I don't know. It's a weird one because we've had so many top 10 upsets that, like, not many players to watch. So we'll see what's up. But yeah. But we'll watch a few of those matches. We probably won't watch as many. Considering how crazy the first 2 days have been, I got to be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be this mad. So I'm a little. I'm gonna try and pace ourselves tomorrow, because tomorrow's a light day, and we're gonna, rather than watching 7 things at once, we'll take the light day lightly. Because we've already watched what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 matches in 2 days. Yeah, 14 matches in 2 days. So tomorrow we're going to only watch 6 matches, or 5 matches maybe. You don't recommend skipping these 2 weeks of the season after having playing 9 non-stop 6 months special. What? Isaac, don't write an essay when I've been up all night. I'm confused. Write sentences that people can read. Have the Brazilian fans pitched up Fonseca? What do you mean, Lilia? Sabalenka wins. Will she secure the number one? Maybe. Possibly. Nole said post-interview he has a cranky stomach. Okay. Well, he'll be okay in a couple of days, hopefully. Cam said America would do the best old boy. I'm sorry. Are there no Americans left? Did all the Americans lose? I'm sorry. Did I miss something? Are there no Americans left in the competition? Tiafoe, Paul, Fritz, Keys. I'm sorry. Did they all lose, did they? Shelton, Opelka. Huh? Navarro, Kruger, Anisimova. Collins. Yeah, Collins is there too. All right, Djokovic having a laugh with the crowd. Didn't Diallo upset someone? No, not yet. Poor Tien, forgotten? Yeah, Tien's there too. It's anyone's Wimbledon. That is interesting. That is maybe true. That may be true. Thank you, Cam. No worries. Thank you for hanging out. Mickelson lost. It probably ends up being Alcaraz and Sabalenka winning. Okay. Just bought a ticket for Alcaraz tomorrow. Nice. All right. Djokovic leaves the court and he wins. This crowd definitely are loving Nole way more than they used to. And I love that for him. I missed the Coco match. Saw she lost. Yeah. Yeah, that was. I mean, that's why we watched her, because we thought she would struggle, or there would be a tough one. Chat, I'll tell you this, chat. And I'm not gonna. I don't want to say this lightly either, because it's not light. It's not a light subject. But I'm noticing a lot of players, especially the high-profile players that lost, right? The upsets that have happened. A lot of them seem to be saying a lot of the same things about their mental health and talking about how they all seem very dejected. And they just lost in the first round of Wimbledon. It's a very big tournament. It's a very disappointing result. But has it got something to do with maybe just they've just played so much? And is it just like... Is everybody getting pushed to the limit? Physically and mentally to this point? Because we're in the third, we're 7 months in, right? We're 6 months in. Is like, what's happened in the last 48 hours and the responses we're getting from the players saying, I feel tired, I'm dejected, I'm just so, like, I don't know what, like, do you reckon it's because of they've just been through so much so far this year? It's been such a long year. And so, like, I don't know. I'm asking. Is that why we're, like, a lot of the players are saying the same things? Is it because they're being pushed so much? And it's burnout. Yeah, are players experience burnout here? You know? And is there a way to fix that? Or is it just, that's just the sport? Some players can deal with it better than others. Like, what's the, like, is there a bigger problem, or is it just some players are going to have this at this point in time? I'm not. By the way, I don't know. I'm asking questions. So don't say like, oh, I don't agree with you. I'm not saying anything. I'm not like saying that's why. I'm saying, I'm asking. Burnout plus social media and pressure of expectation. I mean, I definitely think, social media is definitely interesting. I think it's a fan pressure as well. Maybe. Burnout and no easy matches nowadays. There are no easy matches, you're right. That's true. Absolutely being case burnout. Spoke about to you before. Okay, I didn't hear you. They also haven't performed well in other competitions, so why burnout? What are you talking about? Coco Gauff literally won the French Open and made 2 clay court finals before that. I mean, Gauff has been playing heaps of tennis. Pegula literally played this last week. Like, won a tournament last week. But the thing is like we can point out what could be the issues, but also what's the solution, right? Like if this is the problem, then what is there a solution? Or like again, that's what I like. If players are experiencing burnout and fatigue, mental fatigue, and how does that get sorted? Mandatory tournaments, less mandatory tournaments. I mean, maybe the schedule changes. I mean, that's obviously something. I feel like there should be like a 2-week shutdown after Wimbledon. Like, wouldn't that be what post? And lots of players will do that now. Lots of players won't play for 4 weeks now. That's usually what's happened anyway. But schedule management, I don't think it's that easy because the schedule is demanding. The schedule is demanding of players to play. Like you can't really manage the schedule because you have to play. Like it's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna choose no, you can't really choose. Like you're expected to play tournaments. And then your ranking is determined by those tournaments. So you can't really, I'm just going to play every, once a month. Like, that's not going to get you far enough. You're not going to be able to do anything unless you win everything you play. Like Jannik Sinner or Alcaraz. But if you're, outside the top 5, you've got to play every tournament that earns any points. And, your ranking's made up of 250s as well, and you got to play those, I don't know what the answer is, chat. I'm just hearing that a lot of the players seem to be saying a lot of the similar thing, right? And sounding a very similar, they're very tired, or they're very lost, or they're very, they've lost some fire, and you go, shit, well, we're gonna have a bunch of people retire at a young age in their 20s, That's what de Minaur was saying after the French Open when he lost that first that match to Bublik. And he was talking about, he said, we're going to have players retiring. And he was talking about physically, but I think mentally as well. I feel like if there could be a problem, pushing players out of the sport because it is a lot, maybe. Again, I don't know the answers. And I don't know if all the players are on the same page with it, but it is interesting that we have had this many upsets this early at the tournament. We'll see if it continues. Maybe it might just be an anomaly. Maybe in a week we have no more seeds lose. I don't know. This year it's many players opening up with Dimitrov, Ruud, de Minaur, and now Zverev. Yeah, and even Rublev. I mean Rublev. I think a lot of players are definitely on the men's side for sure, talking about their mental health and how it it's been affected. I don't know. Maybe just something we got to keep in mind. Maybe I don't know if we have to do anything about it or we'll talk about it anymore, but just something to think about. Didn't Popperin say he was struggling with mental health as well? Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that he said he was numb, I think, and that's really scary. A lot seem to get more injured. Well, I think a lot are getting injured as well. Next opponents in line for Nole in his section all prefer hard courts. Yep. Djokovic is doing the smart thing, not playing every tournament. Yeah, but that's because Djokovic is Novak Djokovic. He can afford not to play. Like financially, he can afford not to play. But also, at his point in his career, he has nothing to prove. So, not playing every week and not having to get form to play Wimbledon or whatever, he can do that. I don't think we can use Djokovic as the example for everybody else. I mean, that's crazy. You know, no one else in the world, maybe Alcaraz and Sinner, maybe, can take Djokovic's lead. But even then, they still need to warm up for tournaments because there's a pressure and expectation on them. No one at this point is expecting Djokovic to do anything because he doesn't have to prove anything. Sinner and Alcaraz are proving things. Everyone else has to prove something to themselves, to everybody. You know, like you can't take Djokovic manages. That's not a fair comparison because he's in a totally different position than anybody else. And yeah, Djokovic is over 35, so he has the exemption of the plus 35. You're right. If you're over 35, you don't have to play everything. You get an exemption if you're over 35 of some tournaments. I'm not sure what the exact rule is, but yeah, there's a 35 and over rule for sure. There's no other sport that's intense. Yeah, I could agree with that. Yep, this game is finished. Djokovic won in 4. People are saying this is the most weak era of tennis. That's because we're coming off the GOAT era. Like everything past Federer, Nadal, Djokovic is going to be... It's going to start... I mean... We've come from... 3 years ago, 3 players had 20 plus. Now, we have to restart. We have to reset the whole thing. So, of course, it's not going to be... Like, Alcaraz and Sinner can't win 20 slams in 2 years. We have to wait for them to get to that point again. So, we've gone like this, and then there was always going to be a dip because we've lost 2 players with 20 slams each. So, it's not a weak era, but it's not even fair to compare to the last era. Just like in 2003, it would be unfair to compare to Sampras. Like, it's not fair to compare 2000s to Sampras and Agassi because everybody's starting from scratch. So it's not a weak era. I would say right now it's an opportunistic time. I don't think it's a weak era because everybody's kind of starting again. Sinner and Alcaraz aren't, but I don't think it's not a weak era. That French Open final between Alcaraz and Sinner, you think that's weak? Come on. It's just that we're starting again. It's a rebuild. Yeah, we're rebuilding. And the WTA was started to rebuild when Serena left. And we saw 2021 and then 2022 Swiatek. And now we're in 2025. It took 3 years for the WTA to sort of get to where we are now, right? With Keys and Gauff and Sabalenka and So we've probably got maybe 2 or 3 years of figuring out who's going to fill the space, right? Who's going to take those top 10 spots? Who's going to be consistent? It's just a rebuild. It's not a weak era. Because that's so silly. It's just a rebuilding. We shouldn't consider it in a weak era. I think it's very competitive. Oh yeah. It's very competitive. You deserve the greatest breakfast. I hope you double it up on the order. I know I just ordered one wrap. But thank you, appreciate it. It's a very like the depth of competition is way higher now than it was. And that's because, only really one guy set himself apart, and that's Sinner, and Alcaraz as well, to some extent. But things, again, we're starting from scratch. We've had to start again because the GOATs were so greedy. All right, chat. I have to get out of here. But thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow to do it all again. Day 3 tomorrow, a little bit less hectic, please. But we will be back tomorrow to do it all again and take a look at Centre Court. We'll see what happens with that, and we'll go other places as well. But thanks for hanging out. Another big day. I think we streamed for like 9-10 hours again, so 9 hours. Djokovic wins though in 3, 6-1, 6-7, 6-2, 6-2. And he is into the second round. We're going to go second round tomorrow. We'll start tomorrow and see if we have any more carnage like we have today.